Or is it going to jump right into it? I don't know if you can actually call it jumping right into it. We're on the main menu still. Whatever. Words. What do they mean? I don't know. I'm not a dictionary. But we're back. It's some more Apollo Justice. But that does remind me, hi Lady Devoir, thank you. It does remind me though that, oh right, Apollo came in right at the end of the trial from 7 years ago, and it's like, well, shit, now what? Hi Biscuit. There you are. You noticed that I started streaming, so now you decide to come into the room? December 20th! District Court! Courtroom number 4! Biscuit, please don't mess with the curtains a bunch. Okay. Hi, Apollo. What was I said last week that, I think Apollo might have had something to do with Clay, but Clay might have had something to do with, Metis? And it's like, Mr. Justice, please explain yourself. It's very simple. There isn't much to explain. The defendant, Miss Athena Sykes, might not be innocent. Why are you giving us that look? Apollo, you're supposed to be our friend. Stop giving us that look. Don't do it. Don't do it. The light is gone from his eyes. His eyes are dead. Did you look at it? Like, everyone else got that little, like, especially in anime, it's very easy to do that little highlight in the eye, but then, like, you take that away, and their eyes just look dead. What are you talking about? The case from 7 years ago has been settled! Oh, no, there it is. I'm not talking about the past here. I'm talking about the present case. It's still not clear who killed Clay Tarrant. Yeah, but we're not in this particular... We're not here for that at the moment. We're still investigating that part. But, Apollo, why would you... Miss Sykes, please, listen quietly to what I have to say. What in the world is Apollo trying to do? Your Honor, please allow me a little of the court's time. What? This is a trial for the case from 7 years ago. Miss Blackwell, I'd like to ask a favor of you. Just as you lost someone close to you, I lost someone close to me, too. I'm sure you want to know the real truth of what happened as much as I do. Apollo. Sure, you know I'm all for the truth, says the woman who has been fucking harassing a young girl for 7 years because she thought that she killed her own mom. Now let's see you expose the princess's guilt. Should we kind of just prove... Okay. Judge, I give my permission. Continue with the trial. Very well. Is that all right with you, Prosecutor Edgeworth? The prosecution has no objections. Let's hear Mr. Justice's testimony. I'll have the police investigation report brought immediately. Not you too, Edgeworth. I really hope it's because you have something up your sleeve. Very well. Your opening statement, please, Prosecutor Edgeworth. As you wish. Let's review the quick case of the murder of Mr. Clay Tarrant. It was made clear in the previous trial that Solomon Starbuck was not his killer. Therefore, the true culprit was someone else. On that day, this culprit waited for the astronauts in boarding lounge No. 1. When the two men made their escape out of the Space Museum, the killer attacked Mr. Tarrant with the same type of knife that was used 7 years ago. The murderer then escaped into the Space Museum. Next, Director Yuri Cosmos switched the launch pads. After that, the culprit exited the Space Museum and escaped via boarding lounge 2. Therefore, the trial must make clear who Mr. Tarrant's true killer was. In other words, we must discover who it was that escaped through the Space Museum that day. Here's the thing that's kind of interesting. I'm sorry, why are we're having a trial to determine this? Aren't trials supposed to be determining guilt or innocence, not detective work?
Thank you, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Mr. Wright, is the defense ready?
Sure, fucking why not, Your Honor? Let's fucking go. Better rearrange my evidence.
Now then, Mr. Justice, your testimony if you please.
Apollo Justice accusation. I suspected Miss Sykes of the murder of Clay Tarrant. My growing suspicions were confirmed when this incriminating evidence presented itself. In addition, she's the only one who could have utilized the launchpad switch to escape. That is why I wish to indict Miss Sykes on the charge of murder! Okay, I don't think that feels very clear. That's kind of vague. Like, incredibly so.
Order! Order in the court! Mr. Justice, you realize you are charging your own co-worker with murder, don't you?
Yes, Your Honor. It wouldn't be the first time, because that's the conclusion my investigation has led me to. You forget that my mentor, who I worked for, he was my boss. I kind of got him arrested for murder. So, you know, I have a bit of a track record for this stuff. But, Apollo, why? How could you suspect me too?
Mr. Wright, your cross-examination, please.
See, this is the moment where we're just like, I feel like you're planning something, but I don't know what or why. I don't get it. Just what did you find out over the past few days to make you think this? Okay, I want to press this specifically to figure out why did you suspect her initially? What first made you suspicious of Miss Sykes? It all started when Miss Sykes and I were investigating the crime scene. When she saw the weapon that killed Mr. Tarrant, my bracelet reacted. She said she'd never seen the knife before, but my bracelet told me otherwise. And then every time after that, my bracelet would react when she talked about the case. Or Apollo must have been beside himself during that investigation. I didn't know what to do or think. I couldn't even sleep. In that condition, I knew I wouldn't be any good in court. So I decided to wear an eye patch so I wouldn't be able to perceive any of her tells. Okay, so you're not actually hurt. The eye patch is fake. So why are you still wearing it? Take it off. So that's why Apollo was acting so strangely. But the reason Miss Sykes unconsciously reacted to the knife that way is because she stabbed her mother's murderer with one identical to it 7 years ago. Objection! Well, that knife was also the murder weapon that was used to kill Clay Tarrant. I realized I didn't use Phoenix's voice. My bracelet could have also reacted to her because she knew she was his killer, too. Ugh. I guess he has a point. And I'll be an annoying one, Apollo. But my bracelet wasn't the only reason I became suspicious of her. To be fair, we haven't quite figured out the whole situation with this, but I assume it's fake prints. Or planted prints, not technically fake. It's the lighter that was found in the Space Museum with her fingerprints on it, right? But even if it seems decisive, there must be other facts we don't know about it yet. That's so. Go ahead and prove it then. This is your, excuse me, I'm sorry, that's the prosecutor's job to prove the guilt. My job is to sit here and be like, that's not decisive evidence. That's not decisive. I could easily be falsely painted. Words are hard. What's the word of the planted? Planted. She was unconscious in the Space Museum by her own admittance. If that is true, someone could have easily just been like, oh hey look, hand on the lighter, and put it right back down. And she would never know. Look, honestly, I don't want to believe it's true either, but Miss Sykes was the only one who was in the Space Museum at the time of the murder. Mr. Justice, Miss Sykes had absolutely no motive to kill Mr. Tarrant. 7 years ago, Miss Sykes lived at the Cosmos Space Center. It wouldn't be strange if she had some kind of connection to him. Besides, people sometimes kill for motives we can't even imagine. I know you've seen plenty of cases like that in your own career, Mr. Wright. That is so vague and so dismissive, and it's not answering the question. Apollo, answer the question. I still can't believe this. How can you actually suspect Athena, Apollo? I want to say I hope that he's trying to draw out the real murderer. But
hold it.
Isn't it possible that somebody else used that same escape route? I'm afraid not, Mr. Wright. Why not? Recall the security camera in boarding lounge 1 aimed at the launch pad door. It's the camera that captured Mr. Tarrant and Mr. Starbuck. But there's also another security camera in boarding lounge 2. It recorded Mr. Tarrant's killer, or rather, Miss Sykes, coming out of the Space Museum. Camera in boarding lounge 2? First I've heard of it, but it makes sense. Athena said she had snuck into the Space Museum the night before the incident, and then was overcome and passed out until around noon the next day. I was out until about noon of the next day. I didn't even know about the explosions. When I woke up, nobody was around, so I just went out into the boarding lounge too. That must have been when the camera captured her, and that's what makes Apollo suspect her even more. But wait a minute. In that case, it most likely recorded the true culprit as well. You forget when the power was in. That's a negative on that one too, Mr. Wright. If in the footage taken after the incident, Miss Sykes is the only one who appears. What? Why? Uh-oh. I mean, there are plenty of reasons as to maybe why. Maybe there's another way in. Maybe there's another entrance. Maybe there's another exit. Maybe they came out when the power was still out. I don't know if it was out that long.
Order! Order in the court!
That can't be. But if it is, it's incredibly incriminating.
Wasn't it you who proved in the previous trial that the way the true culprit escaped was via the Space Museum after the paths had been switched? A fact you previously proved turned on its ear, leaving your client high and dry. I must say, that is vintage Phoenix Wright.
And you know what else is vintage Phoenix Wright? Getting the not guilty verdict anyways. Fucking, I'm the best at that. Except for the one time I purposely got the guilty verdict, because he was legitimately the guy. He was the guy. Technically, he hired an assassin. Same thing. Ugh. That's why I shouldn't. I'm gonna go ahead and press this one just because we're here. Believing in your client to the end is a basic principle of good defense. Shouldn't you extend that same principle to your own coworker? You're probably right. Maybe I'm not even fit to be a lawyer. However, I don't care. This case is special to me. His boyfriend is dead. Clay was my friend. And that's why I just have to know the truth. Paulo suspected his trusted co-worker of killing his friend. To dispel his doubts, he investigated on his own, but that only led to more doubts. Apollo must have been really struggling with this. Well, Apollo may have doubts, but I'll say it again. Athena Sykes isn't the murderer. And I have only one thing to say. Evidence is everything in court. Well, Mr. Wright, think you have the concrete proof to knock down my arguments? Let me look at the evidence. Why would her fingerprints be on the lighter but not the knife? First of all. Like, that's my first major thing.
Your arguments have been very clear, Mr. Justice, and your facts appear to be indisputable.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think of my theory? It looks like not even you can deny it. Miss Sykes was the only one who used the only possible escape route.
Under these circumstances, there can be no other suspect but the defendant.
Unless you think there was an alternative escape route. Is that what you think, Mr. Wright? He's leading us. He's leading us. He is definitely trying to push us in a certain direction. That, or he's just thinking out loud.
Is that what you think, Mr. Wright?
Yes? Question mark, yes? If I say yes, do you think they'll believe me?
Shoot. Is that what you think, Phoenix? Was there an alternative escape route? There had to have been. Yes, of course there must have been. Just don't ask me what. Oh, he's genuinely surprised. You're just bluffing again, aren't you? Me? Bluff? No way. He knows me too well. Fine. It's fine, Mr. Wright. Even a bluff would suit me just fine. Who said that? As long as you can clear up this doubt inside me. Okay, that's what I thought. He wants us to clear up the doubt. Wait, so is that what this is all about? I want to believe in Athena. I really do. But what is faith without doubt? That's why I need to question her guilt. So that once the truth finally comes out, I can really fully trust her. So that you can really trust me? It seems your junior partner has just showed us what trials are truly all about. I believe you're right. We prosecutors painstakingly question every detail in pursuit of the defendant, while we lawyers believe in and defend our clients to the end. When both sides go all out against each other, that's when we discover the truth. Precisely. And when the battle is over, we will understand the true meaning of trust. That is exactly what trials are about, wouldn't you agree? Yes, I couldn't ignore the seed of doubt that was growing inside of me, so I decided I needed to face it head on. No matter what the truth is that's waiting ahead, I won't be afraid. That's so like Apollo, always uber earnest about things like this. Mr. Justice, I vow to dispel every last bit of doubt in your heart. Good, because I want to believe in Miss Sykes again. You're really hoping there was an alternative route, aren't you, Apollo? But if I use the process of elimination, there really aren't that many possibilities. Director Cosmos was at the southern exit, leaving only the control room and the corridor to the Space Museum. Which door could the culprit have escaped through? Come on, Mr. Wright. Where do you think the culprit escaped to? Okay, but do we remember the leaf? Like, there was a leaf in here. Or at least, when it was, There's so many options. I mean, if they went to... Okay, so our current options are... the leaf, you're right, the leaf was in here. Which to me says that there's a way in and out from here without going through this door. So either they escaped through here, or they went up to the control room. But to go to the control room, it would have to be Yuri Cosmos. Which, to be honest, I'm kind of absolutely suspecting, and have been from the beginning. I've been suspicious of you the entire goddamn time. But we already know it's not you.
Take that!
It really only... That's the thing, I know it's not him. A part of me wants it to be him, but... all they had to do was use the unconscious Mr. Starbuck's print to get through the door. Nope. It appears that all we are trying to establish is Miss Sykes' guilt. If the culprit used that route, the only exit would have been into boarding lounge 2. The logical conclusion of the argument is... Knew it. That's the only way it could be, huh? The culprit escaped into the corridor that leads to the Space Museum. And I guess it's true. The only exit would have been the boarding lounge 2. But Miss Sykes was... Oh, here... Okay, I did choose the right thing. For a second, I thought this was going to end a lot earlier, but they're actually being specific, which means I chose the correct thing. But Miss Sykes was the only person to be captured by the boarding lounge 2 security camera. I investigated the crime scene thoroughly. But the only place the culprit could have escaped to was the Space Museum corridor. There weren't any other secret corridors or anything. So that leaves us with no other conclusion to draw but that Athena Sykes was the culprit. What could the answer be? Was there really no other escape route? But hold on a second. What if they left while it was moving? That's the other option of how the leaf got in. What if the door was opened? Where did those mysterious leaves we saw in the corridor come from? That's the question. Either there's another exit in there, or they opened the door while the damn thing was moving, which is insane to think about. But I would not put it past Ace Attorney to do that. What if they're a clue to the culprit's real escape route? What if indeed? I think it is possible that the culprit escaped into the Space Museum corridor. Or no, just the Space Museum. Then came out using a route other than into Boarding Lounge 2. Oh? Launchpad 1 and the Space Museum were switched after the bombing. Meaning, the Space Museum corridor was moving along the rail at the time. Which is exactly when an alternative escape route opened up for their Yep, called it. Are you kidding me? Judging by the intent look in your eyes, I take it you're serious. Very well then, Mr. Wright, do tell. Where could the culprit have gone from the museum corridor beside Boarding Lounge 2? The launch site. No, the outside world.
Take that!
We found something odd while investigating the museum corridor this afternoon. Namely, a few dead leaves on the floor. Considering where dead leaves come from, they point us to exactly where the culprit escaped to. Yes, I remember seeing some leaves myself. Ah! Do you mean... Yep, while the Space Museum was in motion just beyond the corridor safety door, was an alternative place the culprit could use to escape. In other words, the culprit's real escape route was... the area outside the Space Center. Yo, freaking insane! Yeah, that's 3 floors up. Objection! Do you know how impossible that would be? That corridor is level with the 3rd floor. Even if the culprit tried to leap to the outside wall of the Space Center building, it would fall to their death.
Objection!
Ordinarily, yes. But after the bombing incident, the culprit can make use of a certain item. And what item was it exactly, Mr. Wright? Alright, this is what the culprit used to leap to the outside wall in the main building. The emergency ladder.
Take that!
An emergency ladder? There was an emergency ladder in the 4th floor robotics lab, and it was used that day after the explosions to help evacuate people. Ms. Blackwell herself used that ladder to escape down to ground level. Recall that the launch pads were switched after the ladder was lowered. You're kidding me. That's 100% insane. There is such a high risk of death doing this, I kind of applaud it. The corridor would have passed by the ladder while the pads were being switched. And that's when the culprit literally sprang into action. Thank you, thank you. I didn't even think about it till I opened up OBS and it had it on the Twitch chat, like, oh my god, it's been 2 years as an affiliate. Holy shit, weird, wild. And leapt onto the ladder. What? Who would have imagined? Order in the court. Well, an alternative route seems to have emerged. Which means someone other than Miss Sykes could have been the culprit, right?
Objection!
What up, Biscuit? Are you just laying down there underneath the desk? Oh, now you're looking at me because I started talking to you and I'm crazy. Yes, sleep right there. Right there. There is now a Biscuit sleeping or resting up against my foot. I'm very happy.
Making things up on the fly in an attempt to sway the court again, are we, Mr. Wright? Your theory has so many holes that put Swiss cheese to shame. Alright then, name one. I have here detailed information about the Space Center. According to this, The distance between the museum corridor and the main building during the movement is a full 20 feet. 20 feet? You're pulling my leg, right? In addition, the corridor is 3 floors from the ground, or roughly 50 feet. What's more, the culprit would be leaping to a precarious place. An unstable ladder. Human beings feel fear in dangerous situations. It's a basic survival instinct. An ordinary person would certainly hesitate before jumping. Or even freeze in fear and not jump at all. But the culprit had just murdered someone. They weren't in an ordinary state of mind. Nevertheless, why would they have taken that kind of risk? They could have waited for the switch to be complete and escaped to boarding round 2.
Objection!
Because there was a security camera in boarding lounge 2. The culprit knew they would be recorded if they left the Space Museum that way.
Objection!
In that case, the culprit could have hidden in the museum until things settled down, and then blended in with the other people after the museum was opened. It's a good point. But you claim that despite all this, the culprit took a 20-foot death-defying leap, and all in the brief moment the corridor and ladder passed by each other. That's also a good point. They would have needed a running start while the corridor was moving to make that jump. If the timing was off or if they couldn't jump far enough, it would have been instant death. What kind of person would attempt something like that? Stop bringing up good points, Edgeworth, please. This true culprit of yours is nothing but a figment of your imagination. Why do you always have to point out every flaw? Mr. Edgeworth's right. That does sound pretty insane. The culprit would have to be someone who feels no fear, like a stun man. Don't we know someone who doesn't know fear? But you're the one who's dead. That doesn't make sense. Unless you accidentally killed yourself? Or you were the bomber? Or... no, because you went in the other place. That doesn't make sense. Who's not afraid of death? Which one of you motherfuckers is a robot? Besides the actual robots. He doesn't? Okay. Here's the thing. We know it's the Phantom. The subject's emotions rarely fluctuate and he doesn't experience feelings that normal people do. Here's the problem. To me, the Phantom is Clay. Like, I don't know why, but that's kind of everything that we've seen. He's kind of the only one that fits. Again, unless it's a literal robot. Unless it's a literal robot, it would have to be Clay. But now, nothing else makes sense. But everyone feels fear on some level. Right? Wait a minute. Haha! I've got it this time. I can prove that there's someone who could have used this alternate escape route. But I don't know if the robots can jump. Oh, can you now? This proves the possibility of a person who could have used this alternate escape route.
Take that!
What's that, Mr. Wright? This is a certain person's very interesting psych profile. The subject doesn't experience feelings like normal people do. In other words, this person doesn't feel happiness, sadness, or fear. Doesn't feel fear? Right! You can't be serious. Without the constraint of fear, he could easily do what an ordinary person wouldn't dare. But now we just need to find out who the Phantom is. That's the problem. Just as you or I could do a broad jump on the ground with the slightest fear. This subject can make a 20-foot leap, 50 feet up in the air. He could choose this extreme way of escaping without hesitation. So you're saying that to a person without fear, the alternative route would be quicker and eliminate the chance that they'd be spotted? That's definitely pretty extreme, Mr. Wright.
But was there such a person there at the scene?
Yes, the Phantom, that mysterious shadowy figure who keeps popping up.
Oh dear.
The Phantom, again? I knew the Phantom was there behind the scenes of the Space Center bombing, but I wasn't sure if he was connected to the murder of Clay Tarrant as well. However, now it's all clear. The Phantom is the one who not only bombed the Space Center, but also killed Mr. Tarrant. What?
Order in the court! Order, I say! Mr. Wright, please continue.
There were just too many similarities between this case and the one from 7 years ago. But why, you may ask? It can only be because both incidents were the work of the same Phantom. So then, this Phantom is the one who killed Clay? But who is he? This Phantom has been haunting this case, pulling the strings in the background. Who could this unidentified international spy be?
Right, this escape route must have been a part of the Phantom's plan from the start, as was tricking Director Cosmos into switching the launch pads. The bomb on the second floor was meant to make the elevators and stairs unusable. That's why he gave advance warning and planted the bombs where he did.
Yes, I think you're right. But it doesn't explain this one last thing. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to, but it was such a pain. The robotics lab wasn't the only room with an emergency ladder, but he couldn't have made that leap unless he was certain of which one it would be. So you mean, the Phantom must be someone who knew that particular ladder was going to be used? No. No, hold on. No! No! No way! Hold on. There's no way in hell. There's no fucking way. I'm going to fucking... If it's who I think it is, oh my god, I'm going to lose my mind. You gotta be fucking kidding me. Are you God? It's the only person that fits. He's the only one that fits, Biscuit, I think he's the only one that fits. He knew about the evacuation. He was leading it, Biscuit. He was leading the evacuation! He would know!
Who could it be?
Wait a minute. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to! Son of a bitch. Oh my god, has he been playing the goddamn fool this entire fucking game? This entire game, he's been playing the biggest fucking fool! Oh my god. He's an evil genius. He's a fucking mastermind. Oh, I kinda love it! I kinda love it! Miss Blackwell lowered the ladder, after being told to by the detective leading the... Ah! Screaming! Hey, you've gotta be kidding me! Did you figure it out, Christ? Do you know who the Phantom is? Yes, I do. Who is it? Who killed Clay? Our mystery spy, known as the Phantom, is none other than Bobby fucking Fulbright. Are you fucking kidding me? After the explosions, a member of the staff crossed paths with a certain detective. I was on duty on the 4th floor. It was quite the madhouse, I tell you. As for the detective who was leading the evacuation from the 4th floor, he had a very specific objective in mind. So I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. His objective was to secure his own escape route. Lowered an emergency ladder from a 4th floor window and escaped that way. Once everyone else got out safely, I made my way down too and headed to the shelter. This is the detective you all know. He's even the lead detective on the current case. He appears to be a very emotional man, but his psych profile says he is without emotion.
Take that!
Fucking, are you kidding me? I can't believe what the What are you saying? You mean the Phantom is Detective Bobby Fulbright? Exactly! We were all taken in by his fake persona. Detective Fulbright's real identity is the Phantom! Why does this feel like a goddamn Scooby-Doo moment? Just fucking unmasked, it's like, Bobby Fulbright? Order! Order in the quarter, Mr. Wright! How could this be? And I would have gotten away with it too, if it weren't for you dumb kids and your meddling magician daughter. That's easy, Your Honor. Detective Fulbright was leading the 4th floor evacuation effort. Our first clue is that he made no attempt to have any other ladder put to use. The ladder in the robotics lab is the only one he ordered to be lowered, which is really, really weird when you think about it. And I didn't think about it because Fulbright's an idiot. The second is that he directed everybody to the basement shelter via this ladder. Verily, it was all a part of his plan to create an escape route. After Detective Fulbright saw to it that the ladder was lowered from the robotics lab, he went to the lounge where he killed Clay Terran and escaped into the Space Museum. The museum started moving slowly, so he waited for the right time, got a running start, and just as the corridor was passing the ladder, he leaped onto it. I think it's leapt. It's not leaped. I'm pretty sure it's leapt. Leaped onto it. Leapt onto it. Ugh, I don't believe it. That autopilot detective did all that. K? How much do you know about this case? How much do you know about this game? Because, oh my god, you just missed the most what the fuck moment for me I think I've ever had in an Ace Attorney. You beaten it? Cool. Then you know what the fuck just happened that made me go, wait a fucking minute. This bastard. This fucking guy. This dude. Him. Was it really him? I mean, all this time I thought... Sorry, we didn't catch your name. My name? I'm Bobby Fulbright, the heroic detective who defends our good citizens from evil. The champion of justice who comes running whenever you're in need. And my catchphrase? It's, "In justice we trust." Then, his concern for Simon was also all just one big act? I swore to reform Prosecutor Blackwell and make him a valued member of society again. You're the Phantom who got him falsely accused and put into prison. Fuck, oh my god. Everything makes so much sense and I hate it. Ah. See, if this were a TTRPG, it's the situation with it's Mario again. I didn't fucking insight check him. didn't fucking do an insight check. So I'm like, no, you're pretty... It's the exact situation. It's like, no, you're trustworthy. It's fine. I believe you. I roll for it. Why would I roll for it? No, I just believe them. So I can't just sit by and watch him give in to his emotions and tear the defendant apart. That monster killed Clay. He had me completely fooled. Come to think of it, he's the one who brought that bloodstained lighter to court too. The scumbag even made me turn on Athena. Damn it! How the hell did I fall for all that? For him to have wormed his way to the police department as well. Your Honor, the defense demands to question Detective Bobby Fulbright. Yes, I agree that we need to hear from him right away. The court will take a short recess, and then Detective Fulbright will take the stand. In this not actually legitimate trial, but we sure as hell are treating it as one. Hold on. Technically, what do I have in my notice? It's a D6, right? Awesome, I got 1. What's my other D6? A 2, we're taking the 5 plus 2. 7 total on the notice? On the notice check? I got a 7 total, okay, did I win? Thank you so much, Mr. Wright. If it wasn't for everything you did, I... Don't thank me yet. We still have an uphill battle to fight. You got it, boss. Apollo? Well, this is awkward. Athena, can you do me a favor? Huh? What is it? Could you beat the shit out of me? Punch me, please. I knew it. I called it. Punch me, please. What? Why should I do that? Because I should have believed in you. I let the seed of doubt inside me get the best of me. I'm really sorry that I didn't trust— Ow! Don't be such a dope. I was really touched by what you did. Huh? What are you talking about? Wow. I didn't— Nope, damn. Alright, nope, everything's fine. Cool. I'm excited for Saturday. Took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm— Also, did Kaden realize that with the second name of her character, that it was very similar to my character's name? Did she notice that? You took the time and effort to genuinely think about who I am and what I'm made of. After all that, how can I punch a true friend like you, Apollo? Didn't have any trouble slapping him a second ago. That was that, and this is this. Thanks, Athena. Thanks for waking me up to reality again. Guess I know who to call if I ever get sleepy in court. Also, can we take the eye patch off, or is it real now? It seems like you have some promising young people working under you. Hi, Edgeworth. Edgeworth. Yeah, I think they're pretty great myself. And they're not afraid to keep me in line. Anyway, I have some very good news. Aura Blackwell has surrendered and the hostages have been set free. Sure seen all the others? Oh, thank goodness. She's probably going to jail, though, for that. Miss Blackwell said she had something she really needed to do. So I granted her special permission to do what she must. I wonder what it is. Miss Blackwell! I have a feeling I know what it is. She's going to apologize. Aw, damn it! I was really hoping, though, Aura. I didn't come to apologize, if that's what— the timing on that, though, could not have been better, if that's what you're thinking. My actions are what allowed the truth of what happened 7 years ago to come to light. But I did come because I had something to say to all of you.
Miss Aura!
She'd better not be here to complain about something.
Are you here to say thank you?
Miss Blackwell, I want to apologize to you. The fact that you couldn't trust the court system is our fault.
Yes, it's true.
The courts are filled with incompetent idiots. Still, I suppose I can let you handle the rest of this case for me.
Oh, Miss Aura, does this mean you're starting to trust the system again?
No, of course not. Be quiet, hunk of junk. It's just, I wouldn't mind if you were the ones who took Metis' killer down. Leave it to us. We'll get him. Well, I guess that means she's starting to trust us, at least.
Now, about Athena and Aura, can they have a nice conversation about, hey, you were almost my second mother? You were almost mama number 2? How does that make you feel? After 7 years of hating this girl.
Aura. Simon, I'm so glad both you and the princess were cleared of all suspicion. And it's all thanks to me and my robots. You'd better be grateful.
That's true. They're gonna need we're gonna need some family therapy between Athena and Simon and Aura. Can Phoenix be there too? I feel like they need someone else. They need a mediator. But also, I feel like Simon could do a good job of that.
I never imagined you would go that far, though you always were extreme. But I don't recall ever requesting your help. As close as ever, I see. Well, now that you've been released, I guess it's my turn to go live in the slammer. I just hope you're not the prosecutor for my trial. You'd probably give me the death penalty. You know me all too well. I guess love can take on a variety of expressions, including stunted in their case. But I truly was about to be executed tomorrow. Though, because of you, it looks like I won't be crossing the sticks just yet. You have my heartfelt thanks, Aura. I'm sorry I caused you so much anguish. Simon.
Oh no! We've never seen her this vulnerable. Maybe we all step back. Maybe we all take a step out of the room. Athena, you can stay unless she's giving us the stink eye. In which case, I'm running with us.
I'm so glad, Simon. So very glad to hear you say that. Aura. Alright. That's enough of that. Bailiff, take me to the detention center. Miss Blackwell did was inexcusable. But it's clear she did it out of love for her brother. I still can't wrap my mind around Detective Fulbright being the Phantom. I can't believe you killed Clay! Right. And murdered my mentor, which brought great distress upon little Athena. Chief Prosecutor. Yes? I would ask a favor. Would you allow me to stand at the prosecutor's bench for this trial? I wish to claim the Phantom's head by my own hand.
I don't know if this is really how this works. Considering now the defendant and the prosecution are both technically prosecuting one guy. I don't think I'm the defense in this case anymore, am I? Hi, Delphi. How you doing? It's not a real trial. I mean, that's true. It's not a real trial, so I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm sorry to tell you, Phoenix Wright, that you are now a prosecutor for the next, however long this trial takes.
That was my plan all along. After all, it's highly unconventional for a man in my position to stand in court.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Athena's the defendant, but we've already proven her not guilty. Now we're just being like, okay, let's prove this motherfucker guilty. What's like, okay, why don't we just arrest him and put him on trial? Do we have the perpetrator? We do. Would you like to take guesses as to who it is? From this list of people, take a wild fucking guess. You have 30 seconds. That's true. Pearly did it! It's true. She was the Phantom 7 years ago when she was 10 years old, younger than how Athena was. God, she's only a year younger than Athena. Hey, Delphi, you're 100% correct. Good job. Head pats. Oh, it did? Oh. Never mind, I take the head pats back. I didn't notice that they changed that.
Sir, the formal paperwork has yet to be filed, but you are hereby conditionally released. Please take the prosecutor's bench in your official capacity and uncover the truth by your own hand.
Question? Are you going to take the handcuffs off him, or will he do the dramatic breaking of them? Because I kind of like the dramatic breaking of them.
I think that's more fun. I'm much obliged.
No, do it at court. Do it in court. It's more fun.
The day to part with these has come at last. Chief Prosecutor,
could you? Actually, you know what? No. This is more symbolic. The other way would be more badass. This is more symbolic. I'm okay with this.
Holy shit, he's free. How long have I waited?
7 years. Animations are indeed hard. That's why you don't do them most of the time. Especially a very simplified game like Ace Attorney. You just don't. You just don't do it. It's like, well, we could model the handcuffs and animate them in such a way that they actually look like they're coming off and someone taking them off. But instead we're just gonna do a flash of white. What evidence do we have for Bobby? The culprit escaped by Okay, do we have a picture of it? Basically, the culprit jumped from the Space Museum to a ladder on the side of the building. And the only person who could have done that was Bobby, because he led the evacuation and said, hey, use this ladder and only this ladder and no other ladders. And so he knew it would be there.
Maybe it's the sense of freedom, but even the air seems fresher, the light brighter. And I will relish slashing that blackguard Fulbright to shreds without mercy. I'm going to be able to read his heart to see how happy he is.
I'm so glad, but I won't cry just yet. After all, we still got a trial to finish.
It's okay to cry, Athena, I promise. Prosecutor Blackwell, Mr. Wright, please avenge Clay's death for me.
What are you talking about, Apollo? You're coming to the defense's bench with me.
I am?
Well, I can't expect Athena to assist me now, can I? She's the defendant.
That leaves you, Apollo.
But, are you sure you want me? I took a leave of absence and everything.
Well, our office is pretty short-handed, and you're all I've got.
Thank you, Mr. Wright.
Apollo. Athena, I can say it with all my heart now.
I believe in your complete innocence. And now we're going to prove it to the world. Well, okay, here's the thing. There's evidence in the corridor that their escape route was while it was moving. And he was the one who brought in the lighter that proved it, that said that it was evidence that it was Athena when no one else found it. And you just had some other shady things. Thank you, Apollo. I know you can do it.
So, you won't be needing that eye patch anymore, right? Right, because I'm fine now.
Or forged it, or he very likely forged it. I don't know if it's planting, if you are the one who finds it and brings it to court. By the way, the eye patch was fake. He didn't need it. His eye wasn't hurt.
Now this is the Apollo I know. Did you Welcome back, Apollo. I'm gonna be honest, you probably didn't need to lose the coat. But also, then you'd have to have another model that's this Apollo with the coat, so that's fair. It's almost time for the trial to restart, though it looks like you have things well in hand. That's true. There is that. I didn't get into the whole details of the Phantom and the Spy and all and this, that, and the other. I was like, it's a lot to get into. We'll just... Yep. I should head back to the prosecutor's office. But why? I want to look into a few things. Namely, the first people on the scene 7 years ago, the facial data registered by the robot, and Detective Fulbright's background. Sounds great, Edgeworth. Thanks. I expect to be repaid with a victory, right? No, if you'll excuse me. A victory for the defense, right? Not for the prosecution, because a victory for the prosecution in this situation means Athena's guilty, so... I'll get you our victory, and we'll make out on the couch afterwards with pizza. Ooh, that sounds good, actually. Right, I'm getting pizza tonight. Okay, you two all set to go? But the only person I have to kiss is Biscuit. Biscuit? He's up sleeping in his cat tree. I can't kiss my Biscuit at the moment. You bet I am. Let's do this. This is it. The final battle. A distinct upgrade from Netflix and chill. Screw Netflix and chill. We have pizza and kisses. And cuddles. The murder of Apollo's friend. The courtroom bombing incident. And the case that ushered in the dark age of the law 7 years ago. Well, the second case that ushered in the dark age of the law. The first one was yours, where you got disbarred. First was the defense, then it was the prosecution. The remaining... Fair enough. Destiny has called us to bring the one responsible for it all to justice today. Also, okay, be prepared for me to only ever say insight check on people, even though the game that we're playing doesn't have insight. December 20th, 5:27 p.m. District Court, courtroom number 4. Let us now reconvene. The defense is ready, Your Honor. The prosecution has never been more ready. You know, this is the first time we've been at the defense bench together since I debuted. Now that you mention it, although back then I thought you were more loud than you were reliable. Athena is technically still the defendant in this case, because the way cases in the Ace Attorney world work apparently are someone needs to get convicted. But also it's not a real trial, so it's like, in case you haven't noticed, we're kind of in a blown up courtroom. Not a fake one, just a blown up one. This is not a real trial. You've really come a long way since then, Apollo. You've grown a lot. Well, there have been some hiccups, but I guess I've done pretty well. You still got that ego of his, though. Prosecutor Blackwood, with the 7-year mistake now resolved, you can finally take your rightful place. Yes, I guess we can keep the chit-chat for later. Bailiff, please bring in the witness immediately. Been some updates. And the errata? Cool. Thank you, Kay. Sounds cool. Even with those handcuffs off, Prosecutor Blackwell seems to be pretty much the same. 7 years of grumpiness doesn't go away so easily, I guess. Bobby Fulbright! Ha ha ha! Bobby Fulbright here! I forgot that he always actually does say his name immediately. Hey Bobby, can we have you take off your glove? Both of them, actually. I heard I was needed on the stand, so here I am. Detective Fulbright, do you know why you have been called to give testimony? Yep, Because there is only one reason why I'd be called. And that is because it's time for justice! In justice we trust!
Objection!
Objection! You can't fool us with that act anymore. Your justice is nothing but lies. What? Are you questioning the integrity of my sense of justice? I mean, sure, sometimes I make mistakes, but hey. He's acting exactly the same as always. Tell me about it. He must be feeling awfully confident. Fulbright, if you wish to dispel our suspicions, then let's get to your testimony. Alright, fine. You want me to prove my righteousness? I can certainly do that. Quick question, easy question, just to kind of start off. Can you just take your gloves off? Can we see your hands? Please? For no reason at all. I just want to see your hands. I have a hand thing. You can call it a fetish if you want, but that's not what we're doing. But just gloves off, hands, please. No? No? You're not taking it now? You don't want to get handsy? Okay. I am the very embodiment of justice itself. I want to have you make me into a villain with your far-fetched arguments. And this bit about the escape route is only a theory. You don't have any proof. What we do have is proof that Athena cites the culprit this lighter with her prints on it. Hi, Maya. Thank you for the 25 months. Thank you for the ooh-woo and the posture check and the hydrate. How are you doing? Welcome to This Guy's a Spy, actually. And also a murderer. This fool. So you're saying the suspicions against you are completely false? And that the defendant is the real culprit? That's right! Mr. Lawyer's escape route is totally circumstantial. He doesn't have any proof that I made a big leap onto a ladder. We don't have proof. You are correct about that. However, you don't have any proof for your claim either. I guess you're right. But you can't define justice with evidence. Who can define it anyway? Justice just is.
Objection!
Don't make me break out a dictionary on you. Please, don't throw the book at me. Ugh. Tell me the Phantom didn't just make me set up a stupid pun for him. Let's just try not to lose focus, alright? But my justice is crystal clear! What's not clear are your eyes? Wake up and smell the justice! It smells like bacon and pancakes and apple pie. No, wait. Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Why does it smell like cinnamon? Hello? That's a little bit of orange juice, perhaps. Or is that hope? Ugh, no hope for me, please. Anyways, what are we talking about? Smelling the justice!
Silence!
Alright, enough justice smelling. We'll smell it later. Enough of your rubbish, Fulbright. It smells like oregano! A little bit of thyme. Maybe put some nutmeg in there, a little bit of paprika. Right there on the garlic and the onions. Fry it up. Put it on top of a little bit of thinly sliced steak over some rice. Mwah! Sounds fantastic. And now I'm hungry. If you have even an ounce of justice, then you will answer the court's questions and prove it. Prosecutor Blackwell. Prosecutor Blackwell looks torn. Well, Fulbright was his partner after all. Prosecutor Blackwell is right. The truth will be revealed in the cross-examination. Yeah, because this is... Hey, look, they don't have feelings like normally. The suspicions against Detective Fulbright are, at this point, only suspicions. As is my duty, I will judge the claims against the defendants as impartially as I can, because we don't have a jury system. It existed in Great Ace Attorney in England a few hundred years ago, and it was partially brought to Japan afterwards, but then we completely removed it and got rid of it, and also it was a jury of 5 instead of, like, what is it, like 12, 13 people? Pepper. Tap, tap. That's really funny. Thank you, Maya. Does anyone have any objections? That's fine, Your Honor. Now ask away and don't hold back. Well, there don't appear to be any objections. Very well, Mr. Wright. Please begin your cross-examination. The embodiment of justice.
Hold it!
The embodiment of justice? Those are just empty words. But they say if you keep saying something, it can eventually become the truth. Isn't that how people make their dreams come true too? By wishing over and over? Alright. Let's just move on. Wow, that was one of the fastest presses I've ever seen.
Hold it!
Then please tell us more about the circumstances surrounding the latter. Well, I'd much rather expound on the topic of justice, but oh, alright. Let's see, what should I ask about? Please tell us anything you remember about the lab. The lab, huh? Well, it was so messy there was hardly anywhere to step. I guess they were in the middle of building a giant robot. And that's pretty much how it looked when we visited this afternoon, too. Okay, I know the drill. You want me to add this statement to my testimony, don't you? What? No, way ahead of you. I'll just add it in. Good question. That's kind of did. I kind of skipped it just because it didn't seem like I would get anything useful out of it. Like, just looking at the sentence, like, I don't know if pressing him is really going to give me anything. My arguments are hardly far-fetched. There's careful reasoning behind my theory. Yes, well, apparently there's reasoning behind even a tofu burger. But what we have against Miss Sykes, though, is not just reasoning, but solid evidence. And it's called the lighter, with Miss Sykes' fingerprints on it and the victim's blood. Yes, that's true, but wait, Detective Fulbright was the one who brought that evidence to trial. If you harbor any suspicions, I suggest you ask Fulbright, right, Dono? Especially about that lighter. He's right, but what exactly should I ask about? Let's ask about the position of the print. Here we go, because if he... Okay, here's the thing. Perfect. A lighter in their left hand. If the prints are indicative of her right hand, we already know it's fucking bullshit. They're around the same spot on either side as they would be if she were holding it up. I suppose if it was just used to light the room, it would be held that way. Could you please add that statement to your testimony? The prints were placed just the way they would be if someone were holding it lit. That's a very good question.
Objection!
But he didn't say the number. Oh, wait. I believe you meant to say. Okay. Alright. Okay, Blackwell's right. I was really hoping you would say which hand. Like, that was kind of my whole reasoning behind that little moment. Maybe I'd better listen to the testimony again.
Hold it!
Yes, Miss Blackwell did mention she saw a lit lighter being held up. Yep, meaning the person Miss Blackwell saw was the owner of the fingerprints. It just strengthens the argument against Miss Sykes. Ugh. This line of questioning is going to get me anywhere. Isn't going to get me anywhere except conviction land. Should I try asking him something else? So how many prints were found exactly? 3. The thumb, the index finger, and the middle finger of the right hand. Oh. Hey, dumbass. Get fucked. Your Honor, that's an important statement. Could we please have it swapped into my testimony? You got it. You preach me to it. Be it investigating or testifying, speed is the key. I have a feeling the lighter was almost specifically to frame her. Okay, now we do this one. Now I hit you with this. You say the prints were from a right hand, is that correct? Well, that's right. Very clear prints. Well, that just doesn't add up. What doesn't add up? According to Miss Blackpool, who saw the culprit herself, this person held the lighter in their left hand. Oh? So here's the dilemma before us. Why are the prints on the lighter from a right hand instead of a left? You're right. It doesn't make sense, does it? Your Honor, this lighter can hardly be called incriminating evidence. The witness's claims don't even hold water. Detective Fulbright, I hope you have a good explanation for this. I just can't understand it. They're definitely the right-handed prints. But then, why are they inconsistent with Miss Blackwell's statement? I've got it! What have you got, Detective? The mirror! The witness must have seen a reflection of the culprit in the mirror. I'm pretty sure there wasn't a mirror in that room. Does anyone remember there being a mirror in this room? Because I sure as hell don't. Go on. Miss Blackwell was looking through the window of boarding lounge 1, wasn't she? I believe so. If you mean the little window in the back and to the right of the room. That's right, and across the room on the opposite wall. Ah, shit. There's a large mirror. I forgot about the mirror. That said, I feel like you would know if you were looking at the mirror, mainly because you'd see the mirror and you see both of them. I do remember seeing it. So are you saying... Yes, the culprit Miss Blackwell saw must have been a reflection of that person in the mirror. Oh, I see. In that case, right and left would appear reversed, wouldn't they? Now do you see? That's the logic of pure justice.
Objection!
But your argument is only conjecture. You don't have any proof that what Miss Blackwell saw was a reflection.
Silence.
Right, Dodo. You'd sooner nick yourself than him like that. Put some more muscle into it. Huh? Oh, that's right! Besides, the lighter couldn't have been in the left hand. And why not? Miss Blackwell said she saw an Earth emblem on the lighter, didn't she? That emblem was only on one side of the lighter. You're right. There's no emblem on the other side. Exactly! As blank and smooth as the judge's fine scalp. If the culprit had held the lighter in their left hand, they would have covered the emblem. Uh-oh. What's more, this is the kind of lighter you flick open with your thumb before lighting. So the culprit had held it in their left hand with the emblem out and visible. They wouldn't have been able to open it, let alone light it. But if they had held it in their right hand, they could easily open it and light it. This all means that the culprit was definitely holding the lighter in their right hand. Hey, do you mind taking your gloves off? No! Come back! My beautiful contradiction! It appears you've planted a flower that bears no fruit. See how it withers before my flower of justice! He's tough. He's managed to discredit almost everything I've proven up to this point. In justice we trust! Now do you see, I'm not this phantom you've been talking about. I mean, are you sure there really is a spy? I bet they're just a figment of your imagination. Oh, it's so sad. So very sad, but I'm afraid Miss Sykes is the culprit.
Hold it!
Hold it! Hold it! That was Apollo, not Phoenix. Detective Fulbright, I believe you said that the emblem is only on one side of the lighter. Are you sure about that? Of course I'm sure. Why don't you take a look for yourself and see? Do you see an Earth emblem on both sides of the lighter? Here we go. We haven't done this in a while, at least not in the middle of a case. I knew it. You're lying, detective. Pardon me? You mean... Yes, my bracelet reacted to a statement about the emblem. He's definitely hiding something big. And I think if we use my talent, we might be able to figure it out. Bye, Maya. We'll see you later. Enjoy work. Justice Dono, are you to use that sheet of yours again? It's not cheating, Prosecutor Blackwell. Very well. Whether I like it or not, I suppose we should use whatever works right now. Go on, then. Prosecutor Blackwell's reluctant blessing, apparently. Okay, Apollo, you're up. Here goes, then. Detective Fulbright, could you repeat that last statement one more time? Oh, what in the world are you up to? Alright, fine. I'll say it as many times as you like. Listen carefully. The Earth emblem is only on the side that you can see when held in the right hand. I'm very curious about something. I'm gonna hold here so I can look around. Seems fine there. Don't see anything here. I'm about to sneeze. Found it.
Gotcha!
Got it. I knew it. There's a different emblem. Excuse me. Did I scare Biscuit? Nope, he's asleep. Detective Fulbright, you might not be aware of it yourself, but whenever you say the Earth emblem, your left thumb moves. In fact, it appears as though you're running it along the edge of your holster. Mr. Lawyer, I don't have the foggiest notion of what you're talking about. Oh, okay, I have an idea. Because that is the Earth and the Moon. So, be that as it may, I know it has something to do with the lighter. Let me explain it. But why? You're not making any sense. You can't just silence. Be still and do as you're told, Fulbright. If you have nothing to hide, you shouldn't mind them having a look-see, should you? What? Not you too, Prosecutor Blackwell. I'm not sure what this is all about, but if Prosecutor Blackwell insists, it must be something important. I will allow the defense to examine the lighter. Good. Now maybe we'll learn something new. I hope so. Now let's check every inch of this thing. Oh, what if there's something covered by the smudges? What if we were to clean it? So this is the Earth emblem Detective Fulbright was talking about. See anything noteworthy? Wait, it's a button? Hey, look at this! The emblem's actually some kind of button! It's a gun? I'm sorry, are you saying the lighter is also a gun? Wait, that's right! That super tiny ass bullet that we found that we never figured out where it came from. The lighter, it wasn't meant to be incriminating evidence against Athena. It was the weapon. Or a weapon. It's a goddamn spy gun. That's awesome. I fucking love that. It transformed into something. A handle, a trigger. Is this what I think it is? There's no question, it seems. What you have there is a gun. A what? A gun? Well, that's it. Your Honor, please recall this morning's trial, when Director Cosmos was on the stand. The bullet that hit the oxygen tank was extremely small, maybe a 10 caliber. This little compact gun probably takes bullets of that caliber. It looks like this is the gun that was fired at the scene. I'm flabbergasted! The lighter was a gun? So when Detective Fulbright would touch his holster, that's right. Whenever he mentioned the Earth emblem, he must have subconsciously thought about the secret behind the lighter. In other words, he knew it was a gun from the very beginning. Are you gonna give us an extreme reaction? A lighter that transformed into a gun seems like a spy gadget to me. It's not the kind of thing any ordinary person can get their hands on. In fact, I'd say it's strictly in the domain of elite spies. Detective Fulbright, you will explain yourself. There's nothing for me to explain. I didn't know the lighter could transform. I mean, it was found in the Space Museum and I brought it straight in. I didn't even have time to check it out.
Objection!
Whenever you mention the Earth emblem, you touch your holster. You subconsciously did that because you knew it was a gun. Accuse me all you want, but where is your proof? Do you have any evidence that I knew the lighter was a gun? Not exactly. And whose prints are on it? Miss Sykes' prints. It proves that she's the culprit who fired the gun at the scene. Ugh. It would appear the detective is right. Are you guys really trying to prove your client's innocent or what? Although it pains me to do this, now that we are where we are, I have to make the following assertions, coming from the prosecution side. The person who fired the gun at Director Cosmos in the lounge after the incident, and the person Ms. Blackwell saw holding the lighter, and the person who murdered Mr. Terran, and the person who bombed the Space Center, are all the defendant Athena Sykes. The prints on the lighter are decisive proof. No! Now do you see? A man on the side of justice couldn't possibly be the culprit. Me thinking that all the times the person on the side of justice was the culprit. Like Von Karma. And the chief prosecutor, the chief guy from Greatest Attorney. And Detonate. Can't forget about Detonate. Can't forget about that guy. And I'm sure there were more, I just don't remember. And I think this about sums up Miss Sykes' part in the whole affair. The evidence certainly does seem to point to the defendant's guilt. Do you have anything to say, Prosecutor Blackwood? Evidence is everything in court. Therefore, Fulbright's claims stand firm. But calm down, Apollo. He's just saying that because he has to as the prosecutor. Mr. Lawyer, our job is to pursue criminals in the name of justice. You shouldn't cast suspicion on people based on something as dubious as a habit. In fact, you have a bad habit of showing up in court with an awful case of bedhead.
Objection!
Objection! This is the man who wears sunglasses at night. If it's proof you want, it's proof you'll get. I'll prove that this lighter is not Mrs. Sykes, but yours. Sounds like you've hit on something, Apollo. It's just, if the prints on the lighter are the basis for accusing Athena, I think we should reconsider the credibility of the evidence itself. You mean you think this lighter may be forged evidence? That's right, it could all be part of Fulbright's bigger plot. Gee, if only someone would have thought about that 1,000 years ago. Me, I thought of that. Did you do anything out of the ordinary while I was off on my own? I can definitely think of a few things. Have a look at this. What's this? A lighter? Detective, we'd like to run a comparison on some prints we found in the boarding lounge. I just happen to have compiled the print data of everyone related to this case. We did, and the prints do belong to Athena. But also, if Athena was in the Space Museum, unconscious at the time, it would have been super easy for him to go, and grab your hand and put it on the lighter, and you're good. I'll always make another copy for myself, so it's all yours. Also, he can make a copy from, like, he can just straight up make fake prints pretty easily. If we assume he's been laying a big trap for us all along, there's gotta be something off about this piece of evidence. Wait, will you let me examine it again? What's wrong with the lighter as a piece of evidence? Where they are? Anything odd about where the prints are? No, I guess if it was fired as a gun, it's about where the prints would be, but... Wait. Why would there be blood underneath? No, I guess I don't see anything strange about how the prints were... No, I guess it is too. Nothing unusual about the angle of prints or how patchy in places, but... Are they really a thing as fingerprints? They definitely match your print data. But what about the data itself? That's right, what if the data was fake? Detective Fulbright, you were the one who provided us with a... I hadn't considered that. I hadn't thought about that. What if the database is wrong? That's the one thing I hadn't considered. You were the one who provided us with the lighter and print data. Isn't that correct? Yes. Well, what about it? You say Miss Sykes' prints match the print data. But I have to wonder, was the data you used official?
Mr. Wright, are you suggesting that the evidence might have been fabricated?
I guess there's only one way to find out. Let's re-examine the prints. Using the official, sanctioned print data of the people involved in the case.
What? You dare insult the epitome of justice and integrity? There's no need for such antics.
Silence.
Silence. Your Honor, I lend my voice at the defense's request. You must allow the test to be rerun.
Very well then. Bailiff.
That's the one thing I hadn't considered, that the data was wrong.
Oh, it appears that the official data is here.
And the results?
It's just the defense claims. This proves that the prints on the lighter do not belong to the defendant.
Yes!
The fingerprints actually belong to the victim, Mr. Clay Terran.
I'm sorry, what now? Why does... What? That's not... Full disclosure, my expectation was, we don't know who the prints belong to. They don't match anyone in our records. And it's because fucking Detective Fulbright either fucked with his own fingerprints or would have fucked with the data because he's an elite spy. And he could have done that. But what the fuck do you mean? Those were Clay's fingerprints on the lighter? Ah, I see. Come to think of it, wasn't it you, Fulbright, who collected the victim's prints? Oh. That's right, he did.
I personally removed his glove during the investigation. We had to get his fingerprints to confirm his identity after all.
When you took the deceased's fingerprints, you could have easily planted his prints on the lighter with his blood, after which you wiped the blood off of his hand. By your own admission, you were also the one who compiled the phony print data. Ought to put the blame on Miss Sykes. This ploy must have been to distract us from the Phantom who's behind everything. You're out to create the impression that the Phantom wasn't the true culprit.
So does this mean Detective Fulbright really is the Phantom?
Remember the killer's escape route. No ordinary person would have been fearless enough to attempt it. Nobody but the Phantom, the man with no emotions, could have done it. Detective Fulbright, you were the only one who could have used that escape route. Hi, Dag. I wish it was a partnerversary. We are never going to make partner. I'm going to be real with you. It's not going to happen. But hi. I hope you're doing well. What zany murder are we solving? Well, we're solving several. Solving the murder of our friend's mom, or solving the murder of our other friend's best friend. Affiliate anniversary. I've been affiliate for 2 years. Yay! Never thought I'd get here. And yet... What was I saying? Anyways, this bastard, who this entire game, this guy right here, had just been a fool, who's just been, like, kind of a wild, wacky, like... I basically made... I kind of, like,
made his voice as like All Might, but an idiot. More of an idiot. And now,
Hi, Fulbright, are you really the Phantom? Answer me, or so help me, I will slash you to tiny slivers where you stand.
all right, I'll talk. I confess. I'm not the Phantom.
Silence.
It's all over. Now be a man and admit it already.
But I'm not a spy. I'm an undercover investigator. I've actually been after the Phantom myself. Holding. I'm holding. Hold on. Notice check. Insight check, please. Insight check. Not the best insight check. Notice check. That's another 7. I feel like I still didn't beat it.
An under-the-cover investigator? Well, that sounds less than wholesome to me.
Lewd. Judge, get your mind out of the gutter. Well, shit, I'm in trouble. I've already lost.
A person who hides his identity and secretly investigates in order to uncover information. And that's what you really are, Fulbright.
Oh, that's right. I was working to track down the Phantom. But sadly, even though I was supposed to catch the spy ended up catching me. He took my family hostage and forced me to cooperate with him.
What?
Objection!
Objection! You're telling us this now? But if what you say is true, then who was the mystery person Miss Blackwell and Mr. Starbuck saw?
It was the Phantom, I tell you. All I did was help him by having that emergency ladder lowered for him.
Objection!
Objection! I don't believe you. Then how do you explain the fabricated lighter?
It was also one of the Phantom's demands. Being the detective in charge of the case, it was easy for me to fabricate evidence.
Are you fucking are you kidding me? Are you fucking goddamn kidding me? It's not you? Like, I have to imagine, right? I have to imagine that if he was lying, Apollo would be like, or in a moment here, they'd be like, you're lying, Apollo. Is your bracelet reacting? He's like, ah, shit. He's not lying. Fuck.
Betting the crime
Because his family was being held hostage.
Betting the crime on Athena's side is just another one of the Phantom's orders.
And you expect me to buy that?
Fulbright, what was the Phantom's ultimate objective?
I was told it was sabotage the rocket launch. Again, if this is lies, Apollo would know immediately. That's his whole fucking shtick, is I know when you're lying. He's a human lie detector. Hell, so is Athena. Both of them are.
Someone who didn't want the launch to happen must have given him the order.
Actually, I have to apologize to you too. The Phantom told me to get close to you. He ordered me to get back that psych profile you have on him. Well, the way Apollo works is that when he sees someone, basically when someone is lying, they tend to unconsciously tense, and when they tense up and he's watching them closely, he tenses up a little bit, and it just so happens, and the bracelet is the way that the bracelet works. It's fitted perfectly so that they notice like this pulsing, basically their own pulse, out of the tension in their arm. And so he can look for the tells to know that they're lying, and what they're lying about. But if his bracelet's not reacting, then he can be almost certain that he's not lying.
So he sent a buzzard of his own to tail me this past year, did he?
I haven't been a champion of justice. I've just been a pawn of evil.
a pawn of the Phantom who stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes 7 years ago. Enough, Fulbright. Just tell us the Phantom's true identity. I don't know. He was very careful to hide it. He has top secret information for all kinds of corporations and countries.
I guess that's true. But especially with both him and Athena there, you think it would be something.
So there's a number of organizations that want him dead. If people believed I was the Phantom, I could be killed on the spot. Why, I bet even now. There are assassins lurking nearby. In this case, it is about the Phantom, after all. With the ceiling blown off, I suppose you are vulnerable to a sniper shot in this courtroom. Just 2 seconds ago, Fulbright was treating Athena like a criminal. Does you really think he's going to lie his way out of it now? On the surface, everything does seem to make sense. This could be bad, Mr. Wright, if we can't find a flaw in his logic. He's right. After we've come all this way, we can't let Fulbright wriggle free now. There, I finally told the truth. Now I hope you see how foolish it was to think I was the Phantom.
Now, okay, now that you said that, now I think you are the Phantom again. It's like, the moment you... This is a very, very good cover story. If someone starts to think you're the Phantom, you can just be like, no, I'm being forced to work for the Phantom. You see, it's very important. I've never seen him look so serious.
You're an intelligent man, Prosecutor Blackwell. You believe me, right?
I've never seen his face make this expression before. It's kind of scary.
I believe you. I don't think you're the Phantom.
What? How can you say that, Prosecutor Blackwell? It's obvious he's the Phantom.
Silence.
Evidence is everything, right, Dono? And you must admit there's no clear evidence that Fulbright is the Phantom.
Take off the gloves! Take off the gloves! Take off the gloves!
For the love of God, take off the gloves! Ugh. Yes, as I recall, the only solid proof we've seen up to this point is the fact that Detective Fulbright fabricated evidence.
But...
I've known Fulbright here for a year now, and all this time he's been quite intent on rehabilitating me. I don't believe his efforts were a lie.
Here we go.
Prosecutor Blackwell.
Because 7 years ago, he was stabbed in the hand by little tiny 11-year-old Athena. There's very likely still a scar there. It's not a guarantee, but I think there's a good chance that there's a scar there, especially because we've never seen him without the gloves.
This fool truly thought he could reform a death row inmate like me.
Unfortunately, I don't think we have the footage of it anymore as evidence.
He went so out of his way in his efforts for me, he actually became quite a nuisance, really.
Prosecutor Blackwell, you believe me?
Please tell me Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't really been taken in by this big phony. However, even if it was against your will, you still acted as the Phantom's accomplice. You will have to pay the price for that. Throw yourself at my mercy, and don't you ever betray me again. Have you got that?
Yes, thank you. Oh, thank you!
Such a bond of trust is a rare and beautiful thing. In any case, it looks like everything has been resolved. I can now hand down a not guilty verdict with confidence. Oh, very good. I'm very glad to hear it. It's all over. Everything's being cleared up and Miss Sykes will go free as well.
Mr. Wright, we can't let the trial end here. If we do, the Phantom, the man who killed Clay, the man who killed Metis, will get away. No, I know, but... what do I do? I don't have any proof that Detective Fulbright is the Phantom. Is this it? Is he going to get away just like that?
Now, if you'll excuse me, my next investigation awaits. And with that, I'm off! Ha 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 ha! Hold it!
Question is, who said it? Athena! Hold it! The defense... No, wait. Not the defense. The defendant feels it's not time for a verdict yet and would like to see this trial continue.
What? But I was just about to clear you innocent of all charges.
It just doesn't feel right to be standing here. Hey, Apollo! Think you could scooch over?
Athena, what are you doing? Oh, we don't get held in contempt of court.
This isn't a real court. You're fine. I have some questions for you, Detective Fulbright. Are you relieved that you are no longer under suspicion of being the Phantom?
Here we go.
Are you grateful to Prosecutor Blackquill for what he's done for you?
Of course I am, and I'm truly grateful from the bottom of my heart.
Athena, where are you going with these questions? I've yet to hear a single emotion behind any of Detective Fulbright's words, boss.
Right!
She can't be a lie detector for him because she can't detect any emotions. Because he doesn't have any. Let's go! The suspicion against him has been cleared up, but he's not feeling happy at all. What? Does that mean... We may not have any evidence, but the heart doesn't lie. That's it! With your special ability, we just might be able to stop him. Your Honor, the detective has been deeply traumatized by our accusations.
Yes, well...
Wait.
Even before all this, I thought he was a rather odd fellow.
If he doesn't get counseling right away, who knows what might happen to him?
Prosecutor Blackwell, can you believe the nonsense the defense is spouting?
Fulbright, I think you'd better have that counseling.
Not you too.
You've been making batty remarks ever since you were accused of being the Phantom. Such as, you're an undercover investigator, and your family has been taken hostage. I fear you might have finally lost it.
What, I thought you believed me.
Silence! Oh, how you amuse me so. What's going on here? That was an excellent bit of psychological manipulation just now, Simon. I love that she's not even calling him Blackwell. We're just right back to 7 years ago. You are Simon. Hello, friend. I knew you would catch on, Athena. Huh? Mind filling me in here? Guess we left you in the dust, huh, Mr. Wright? Simon was only pretending to believe Detective Fulbright. Because he knew I'd notice if there was a lack of emotions, like joy or relief in his response. So he gave me the chance to take a listen. And listen I did to the voice of Detective Fulbright's heart. What? You two were working together just now? Come now, Athena. Show us what's inside Fulbright's heart. You got it. Time to check the instant replay. Widget, mon ami, let's do this. Mon ami? What a good boy. Good widget. Thank you for believing in me, Prosecutor Blackwell. I am under... He stole the moon rock and killed Dr. Sykes. Bad person for cooperating. Yeah, he's not showing any emotions that he's supposed to be having at the moment. Jesus, no anger, no happiness, no sadness, nothing. Even with all his over-the-top expressions and gestures, he's registering no emotion at all? It's just like I thought, and right in line with the Phantom Psych profile. That face. That's the one that probably his resting bitch face. Detective Fulbright, this lack of emotion proves you're the Phantom. What is that, Watch? What the fuck? Hey, what's going on? Wait, hold it! What do you think you're doing, Detective? Okay, this is definitely some elite spy shit.
Me? I'm not doing anything.
He's trying to hack into the Moon Matrix program. I can't do anything with it like this.
Ugh!
Fancy device you have there, but I'll tolerate no cheating, thank you.
Sorry about that. As an undercover agent, I tend to use my secret arsenal without even thinking. More like as a spy. Thanks, Prosecutor Blackquill. There! Now that you can't hack me anymore, I dare you to try to hide your lack of emotions from us. Oh, lack of emotion? What are you talking about? Of course I have feelings! As a matter of fact, you wounded me very deeply with that accusation. What's going on? All of a sudden I'm getting an overwhelmingly happy reading. He's literally crying a river over there. Oh, I think he fucked up. Oops, my mistake. How about this? Yikes! How he's angry all of a sudden? What's he trying to pull? Like as not, it would appear our friend is not completely without emotion. It's just as it says in Dr. Psych's profile of the Phantom. The subject has a unique psychological makeup with almost no emotional fluctuation. Oh, I get it. So he has some emotions, right? Precisely. Which leads me to wonder why you can't sense any emotions from him at all. I believe it's most likely because he is controlling his emotions. Very good, Prosecutor Blackquill. You are correct. It's the result of my daily training. A very important skill for us undercover investigators, you know? More like for a spy, seriously. But I wonder why he suddenly showed several strong emotions. Oh, wait a minute, I think I know. I sense there's a feeling you're trying to hide with your exaggerated emotions, Detective. Feeling I'm trying to hide, and that's a good one. You're the ones who've been saying I'm the Phantom because I don't have any emotions. I was just trying to show you the range of deep emotions I truly possess. Then you have no objection to me analyzing you, right? No. Analyze away. But I will state it again. I am not the Phantom. And be forewarned that your analysis will have no effect. Because you are about to see what an undercover agent can really do. Why do I have hiccups? God, his emotions are all over the place. Why are you happy? Why are you showing happiness? Maybe this? I don't think so. I've never seen a person in such a chaotic emotional state. There has to be something here, I just know it. This might be a long shot, but if there really is a real emotion mixed in here somewhere, then it's possible that it would be the one emotion that doesn't disappear. Ah, I see. Nope. That makes sense. That's what I was about to say. If there is one real emotion, it'd be the one that's consistent when we see it. All of these disappear. Yep, even briefly. Ah, I think it's this one. Watch the sadness. It's the only one that's not going away. I found it! I found the one emotion you're truly feeling. What? Hidden in the middle of that chaotic storm, I saw one emotion that never disappeared. We talked about the moon rock. You felt a fear that wouldn't fade. Fear? A fear that a man with hardly any emotion feels, huh? And it was a response to that moon rock. Detective Fulbright, I presume you feel fear concerning the moon rock because... your identity revealed, you lost it, you failed to see it. All of the above? I think he failed to steal it. You tried but failed to steal the moon rock. The same in your career as a spy, as if you're feeling But the moon rock did indeed disappear from the laboratory. And I'd hardly think a person who feels so little would feel fear of a thing like that. Don't everyone jump on the Phoenix hype train all at once now. Spy might fear the most come up in our discussion. Oh, right! Yeah, you're right, his identity. Duh. Of course, that's it! Because if his identity comes out, people are going to be fucking all over him. He's going to get fucking shot. Several times. Through the brain. Assassins lurking nearby. Detective Fulbright, I think I know why you would feel afraid. You're afraid that the Moonrock will somehow reveal your identity. If his identity were revealed, he would be killed immediately. That's certainly enough to make even the Phantom feel afraid. Me? Afraid? I don't know what you're talking about. So there really is something about the Moonrock that would reveal his identity? Apparently so. Wait a minute. Maybe the Phantom didn't so much steal the Moonrock, but more like he had to take it with him? Because there was something on it that would reveal his true identity.
Hold it!
Get back here! Don't grapple a hook away! Where do you think you're going? Me? I'm not going anywhere. Is it just me, or was he going to use that weird watch thing to try to get away? I feel like that would break your wrist. How many more of those toys does he have? And where can I get myself some? Detective Fulbright, you will answer honestly to this court right now. Why do you feel fear in connection to the Moonrock? In justice we trust, not emotions, Mr. Lawyer. Evidence is everything. I'm the Phantom because I'm afraid. Don't make me laugh. Okay, let me think. So, the Hope Capsule, what might reveal his identity? Because we have the earring, that's here, stuff that's related to the Moonrock, are the Hope Capsule, and only returned to Earth a few days ago. The Moonrock earring that Athena wears, and the bomb. Because there it is, there's a piece of the Moonrock there in the bomb. I don't know how that works. Ah! What was that just now? But all human beings have hearts and experience emotions. Sometimes analyzing a case from the psychological perspective is the best way to find the truth. Ha! It's all just a waste of time. All your efforts at analysis serve no purpose. And now, in this dark age of the law, nobody would believe your claim that it's effective. In an era when evidence is fabricated, do you truly expect feelings to be accepted as proof? And where exactly is your proof that I fear the Moonrock anyway? Well, I admit I don't have any conventional proof, but I still say that examining a person's heart has its merits. Oh, really? Then why don't you listen carefully with those special ears of yours? Listen to the voice of the heart of the people in the gallery. This fucking guy. All I hear is distrust. As you can see, the people are on my side. Because all they see is a strange little girl using a weird little machine. But it's not like I use analytical psychology to falsely accuse people. Oh, he's got Athena doubting herself. The Psych's analytical psychology has breathed new life into the courtroom. It has freed the hearts of many witnesses and has been key in getting to the truth, including that one trans allegory character. Oh, what nonsense! Your Honor, the defense's claim is a false one. I don't feel any kind of fear when it comes to the Moonrock. I see. Very well. I will give the opinion of this court. In a trial, I don't feel that a person's emotions are quite as compelling as actual evidence is. But, Your Honor... There, you see? Nobody believes you and your trumped-up charges. Wrong voice. However, I do believe Miss Sykes' analysis can contribute to making the truth clear. I've seen her do this firsthand several times already. Surely you jest. I never jest, and don't call me Shirley. So does this mean you'll accept my findings in this trial, Your Honor? Yes, I believe your claim, Miss Sykes. I think there is merit in examining why the witness feels fear in regard to the Moonrock. That is the court's opinion on this matter.
Then that's a win for me. No, a win for analytical psychology. Now, Mr. Phantom, you will tell this court the reason for your fear.
Analytical psychology. My fears? Fine! I'll show you precisely why those abstract things can't be considered evidence. I don't know how to laugh like a normal person. I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Phantom. Yes, I'm very afraid of him because he took my family hostage. What reason would the Phantom have to be afraid of the moon rock? None at all. So the very fact that I'm afraid of the moon rock means I'm not him. In fact, I'm on the side of justice. And there you have it. Now do you see why I'm afraid of the moon rock?
Sure, you sound convincing enough.
But so does any 2-bit con artist. It's all meaningless in the absence of evidence.
Thank you, Simon Blackwell.
The Phantom is like the mist. No flesh, no bones. My sword alone cannot cut it, right, Dono? With your deductive reasoning and the body of evidence before us, let us send this miserable Phantom fellow to the other world together.
You and I, Prosecutor Blackwell. You and I. We have a duty to bring the Phantom down and restore the people's faith in the courts, because it was our cases, mine and yours, two of them specifically, that led to the dark age of the law, even though it was neither of our faults. Bleh. Words are hard.
Indeed, by covering for Athena, I allowed the Phantom to escape. And as a prosecutor, I gave birth to the people's mistrust with my murder conviction.
I bear part of the responsibility as well, for being suspected of forging evidence and losing my attorney's badge as a result. The two of us and the Phantom were there at the beginning of the dark age of the law.
Then it is also our burden to cut away the foul specter we created, is it not? Until all that remains is the righteousness of the court and the faith of the people.
Trust, understanding, fragile ideas of the masses who are controlled by emotion. Humans can't truly trust each other, which is exactly why the illusion of trust is so enticing.
Objection!
Objection! Once two people overcome their misgivings, that's where real trust is to be found. You're free to believe what you want, but trust like that is stronger than you and your lies, always! Cross-examination. Okay, I felt fear when I thought about the moon rock because it reminded me of the Okay, I'm not gonna present anything, but it was part of the bomb. It's there. I can see it. What else has to do with the damn thing? It was here. Something here.
Hold it!
Let me press this. Can't think of a single reason that the Phantom might be afraid of the rock. I thought the Phantom wasn't even supposed to have any feelings. How can someone like me, with my wealth of emotions, be expected to understand the guy? Phantom, a person with very few emotions, would only be afraid of something really big, like his cover getting blown big. Let me try and figure it out myself. I think about the moon rock has something to do with his identity, but what? Maybe the Phantom's fingerprints are on the rock? The fingerprints can be wiped off. Then maybe he wanted the rock so bad he literally drooled on it and left his DNA. We're dealing with a spy here, Athena, not a slob. True.
But maybe the DNA part isn't too far off. Blood. What if there's his blood? Of course! His blood! From when she stabbed him. What if his blood got on the rock? Huh? Oh, no, huh? Something unexpected happened to him during the incident 7 years ago. Blood on the rock! Blood on the rock! That's why he couldn't let anyone investigate it. They'd find the blood! Oh, I'm bouncing around so much. I'm so bouncy. Look, that's why I want him to take his glove off. I just know I have something that can show why the Phantom is afraid of the moon rock. The utility knife, maybe? I'll just continue with my testimony while you're pondering then, if you don't mind. In fact, okay. So where, I think it's here. It's gotta be this. And I think...
Objection!
Got it! I'm a genius. Detective Fulbright, I assume you know what this is. Of course! That's the knife the Phantom used to kill Clay Darren! That's right, and the exact same type of knife Miss Sykes used 7 years ago when she stabbed the Phantom's hand. Yes, that was discussed earlier, as I recall. He dodged at first, so I only got his clothes. But I tried again. And this time you got him, didn't you? I did. I remember it clearly now. The knife went into the back of his hand. Miss Sykes then stated that she remembers the culprit bleeding. It's my theory that the culprit's blood got on the moon rock, and he was afraid that if the blood was analyzed, his true identity would be revealed. That explains why the Phantom had to remove the moon rock from the crime scene. You mean, if we run the analysis now, we know who the Phantom is? Yes, I suppose so, but unfortunately the moon rock in question is missing. And maybe so, but I'm certain I can explain what happened to it in great detail. You can? Of course. Not. Of course I can. It got blown to bits. You don't actually expect us to believe that, do you? Because you don't fool me. Ah! What this court needs is a bully-free zone. Ah, the infamous sword of the beguiling bluff. Its edge is without compare. Come now. Ready in with me and show us just how finely it cuts. Your Honor, this is an outrage! Oh, I mean, this is an outrage? Huh? Go on, right, Dono. Let's start with something that's been bothering me for a while. Now, the culprit supposedly removed the moon rock from the lab. But in this video of him, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, you're right! Oh, you're right! But here's something to consider. What if the Phantom hid the moon rock somewhere at the scene of the crime? Good thinking, boss. Security was super tight at the Space Center back then. Or that, in spite of the Space Center having very strict security in those days. All personnel and effects were examined thoroughly, coming or going. You couldn't even smuggle a withered or leaf through those checkpoints. Does this mean that the moon rock is still somewhere in the Space Center? In the name of justice, I proclaim that's impossible! And why's that? The Space Center was searched from top to bottom, and especially the lab. But the moon rock was never found. How can I forget about that? A sad but true fact. We still haven't a grasp of how it was done. But the Phantom made the moon rock vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Hold. Vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Vanish into the ether. Vanished into the ether. Well, okay. That's actually a good question. That's not a bad idea. What if because they had one moon rock, They were gonna send the Hope capsule out to get a second moon rock, but what if it was just the same goddamn rock? It's the same fucking moon rock, the same moon rock. There's no way it just disappeared. Logic and evidence tells us otherwise. The Phantom didn't have the moon rock on him when he left the lab. And this is why he came back 7 years later to get the moon rock. The launch was sabotaged 7 years ago, shortly after this event, because he wanted to get that goddamn rock back. But it made it. Now it's being sabotaged again because he wanted the goddamn rock back. Yet a thorough police search didn't turn up anything, and it never turned up in the 7 years after that either. The Phantom made the rock disappear without physically removing it himself. But how? There must have been a way. Think, Phoenix, think! Oh my goodness, look at how did the moon rock vanish from the physics lab? Oh, can you or can you not show what happened to the moon rock, Mr. Wright? Yes, I can, Your Honor. What? Oops, sorry, I mean... What? Oh, I guess originally it was what? Oops, sorry, I mean, what? In that case, let's have your answer, Mr. Wright. How did the Phantom make the moon rock disappear from the crime scene?
Take that!
Well, that's the Hope capsule, right? The one that went up with the Hat 1 rocket. He couldn't carry the rock out, but he couldn't leave it in the center to be found either. But there was only one safe place to stash it. The Hope capsule that was there in the lab that day. Yes, and the team must have loaded it onto the Hope space probe eventually. But if that's what happened, then the moon rock would have been launched up into space along with the rocket. Preposterous! It would mean that for these past 7 years, the moon rock was... Exactly. The Phantom got rid of the moon rock in the most cosmic way he knew how. It was out there in the depths of space, aboard the Hope space probe. What? All in unison. Everyone in unison now. Everyone at the same time. 3, 2, 1. What? Order in the court. I understand now. The Phantom's original scheme was to sabotage the Hat 1 anyway. The villain. He used his primary objective to conveniently kill 2 birds with 1 stone. That's right. He planned for the moon rock to be turned into cosmic dust out in space, thereby destroying the one piece of evidence. The one piece of evidence that could reveal his true identity. The one piece is a moon rock. The one piece of the moon rock. Someone get Caden on the horn. We gotta tell her we figured out what it is. Which, actually, considering the existence of the Lunarians and the civilization on space, on the moon, sure. The one piece is a moon rock actually kind of makes sense. It's a spaceship. The one piece is a spaceship. Hold on, I need to do something real fast. Okay, there we go. I had fun. Everybody destroying the... Oh, wait, no, we already did that. But Mr. Starbuck and the others foiled the Phantom's plot. The Hope space probe sailed off safely on its mission and returned 7 years later. With the capsule in tow. If we analyze the blood on the moon rock, it should make one thing crystal clear. That you were the Phantom all along, Detective Fulbright. So, he killed Clay just so he could get the moon rock back? I believe so. His original assignment may have been just to sabotage the Hat too, but at the same time, he also had to retrieve the evidence of his crime 7 years ago. That's why he went to the boarding lounge and attacked Clay as he made his escape out of the rocket with the capsule. But in the end, it was all he could do just to escape himself, so he didn't get the capsule. Clay must have done everything he could to stop Fulbright. He probably hung onto that capsule for all he was worth until his very last breath. Oh, this is so funny. You make me laugh. You really do. Well, he's totally out of whack now. It's game over for you, Detective Fulbright. Why don't you just admit to it all now? There's nothing to admit. I'm Bobby Fulbright, undercover investigator, I tell you. I am not the Phantom. The blood on the rock is just another one of his schemes. A trap. Now I'm not sure what to think. I suppose that the Phantom is a spy with this sort. A trap is not out of the question. Objection! But in that case, you can say anything is a trap. That's what makes a trap a trap. I've been framed and taking the blame for the Phantom. Your Honor, I believe further investigation is in order. Silence. Further investigation? More like plotting your escape. But no more. I will bring you to justice myself if I must. Here and now. I guess it's time to show you just what I'm really capable of. Die, Simon Blackwell!
Hey, you guys aren't really... Edgeworth? Edgeworth's here?
Hold it.
Hi, Edgeworth.
It looks like I made it just in time. Edgeworth! I have good news for you, Mr. Wright. I have uncovered some very crucial facts. Did you find something out about the Phantom's true identity? You might say that. I started by looking into the first people on the scene 7 years ago. All three, an employee and 2 officers, were registered in the robot's recognition systems.
Oh, were you not here for when Edgeworth was here earlier? We were fighting against him. Fighting being we were working alongside him with him as the prosecutor and us as the defense again, just like all times.
But none of them looked the least bit like Detective Fulbright.
Well, that's not good.
But there's more. I've yet to share my most important finding.
Fulbright doesn't exist,
Mr. Wright. Prosecutor Blackwell, you'd best brace yourselves.
Oh, you were here? Okay. Please tell me Bobby Fulbright doesn't exist. Uh-oh.
The man you see there before you, Bobby Fulbright, is already long dead.
Let's go! And, yep. Cool. How long has he been in? 7 years? Huh? What's that supposed to mean? I mean, this isn't the first time we've dealt with ghosts, but like, what do you mean?
An unidentified body that was found a year ago has now been proven to possess Bobby Fulbright's fingerprints.
Then does this mean, oh, we took on Bobby's name a year ago when he was assigned to Blackwell?
Yes, that man there is an imposter pretending to be Bobby Fulbright.
An imposter? Among us? Shit, but I never even saw him venting!
Then this man, who in the world is he? Enough of your trickery. If you will now reveal yourself to us, then I shall do it for you.
Oh, that's creepy.
What the? No! His face! Oh, look what you did to my mask. Mask? What is the meaning of this witness? Okay, you got me. I guess I have to show you who I really am now.
Is this face gonna mean anything to us? Or is it just gonna be like the Grim Reaper in Assassination Classroom where he just like chopped his own... What? Wait! 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 Help me! Help me! Buddy, I'm sorry I woke you up. I just had to walk around for a moment. I just... The fucking plot twist of the century. What the fuck? What the fuck? There's so many questions. Oh my god. Oh my god. What the fuck? Biscuit, no, I need your emotional support. I accidentally woke up Biscuit because I stood up and I started walking around and I almost walked out the door, and Biscuit doesn't like it when I leave the room. He always follows me, which is adorable. Biscuit, do you want lap time? No? Maybe later. Anyways, what the fuck? But the hat won miracle! Why did he save... Why did he save the hat won? But he... And I... But they... Hey, Apollo? Yep, it's me, Solomon Starbuck. What the fuck? I hate... Cries in Space Heroism. Yeah, Mr. Starbuck? But that can't be right. You can't really be the Phantom, can you? Of course not. The real Starbuck was aboard the Hat 1, which was set to be destroyed. Yeah, this is just another mask. Okay! I mean, didn't I tell you? I'm an undercover investigator. I can change identities at will. I can be anyone I want. Not so fast. I have the Phantom psych profile right here. If we compile a psych profile on you and compare the results, it will prove that you're the Phantom. Oh god, there's another mask! It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the phrase, the end justifies the means. Don't do this to me! Don't you dare! That voice! It's time for me to show you the real meaning of the name, the end. God, no, no, please! How did you hide the beard? I can't believe I didn't see this coming. That it was at the moment we saw Solomon Starbuck. I can't believe I believed it for even a second. I cannot accept such evidence here, Miss Sykes. Professor Means? Mask? I'll take what I want by any means necessary. Now, give me that evidence. He killed another professor. Huh? You're fucking... Time to take out the trash. Permanently. How could you? Now do you see how powerful the end justifies the means can be?
Silence.
Hi, Biscuit. Up you go. Upsy daisy, Biscuit. How pathetic. You can't even speak without wearing another man's face. Oh, but that's the life of an undercover agent for you. My real face has no meaning or value to me at all. Okay. If anyone here has read and or watched Assassination Classroom, first of all, if you haven't, please do so. I don't care if you read the manga or watch the anime or do both like I did. It's fucking great series. It's a great fucking series. There is a character that literally fucking shaved off his nose and his lips and some other facial features so that he could perfectly wear a mask to look like anyone. That's kind of what this is reminding me of, except he didn't wear 3 masks on top of each other. He doesn't look like Red Skull. Or perhaps it is really the case that you don't even know who you are anymore. What must you see when you look in the mirror, Mr. Phantom? Not an awful lot, I'd wager. Well, I'll choose the Master of Psychology, Blackwell. That's right. I don't know who I am. I am always living as someone else for my assignments. I don't remember what my face looks like. Or even what my personality was like. My face, memories, personality, beliefs, emotions, and soul. I left them all behind. I have no self. I am no one. I am nothing but an endless abyss. What's with this guy? Is he even still human? And now we resume with your lesson, Professor Wright. Oh, huh?
I believe you made this argument earlier. If you were to analyze the blood on the moon rock, you could prove that I am the Phantom. I believe there was blood on the moon rock in that capsule. Now that we know you aren't even Bobby Fulbright, your claims of a phantom trap won't work anymore. Then why don't you bring this moon rock in? This decisive evidence from the Hope Capsule. I think I will do just that. Get ready, because the Hope Capsule is about to seal your... Fudge! And this is why the courtroom bombing. In order to remove the evidence. That evidence. The capsule was there in the courtroom as evidence and was blown to smithereens. It looks like you have finally caught on. 4 marks for the defense for effort. But what a shame your hope was lost in the courtroom explosion. So that's the real reason this courtroom was blown up. It was all for the fans to destroy that one piece of evidence. I can't believe it. Did we really reach a dead end after coming all this way? Oh, they should. If you haven't seen, Delphi, if you haven't seen the trial that he appears in, go back and watch it. Because there's some fun stuff that happens with characters. The only evidence we have on this guy really been destroyed? How dare you continue to call me the Phantom? As I said all along, I'm just a nameless undercover agent. And the defense will continue to assert that you're the Phantom. Furthermore, we have proof! Or at least a prayer? I'm afraid that won't do, Mr. Wright. At least put some weight behind your swing, right, Dono? No, I'm trying! There's only one thing that can unmask this menace. The moon rock. But that was blown to bits in the courtroom bombing. Yet, is it really gone without a trace? What if some tiny part, like some little fragment still exists? Oh man, if only there was a little fragment of the moon rock still there. Oh, if only. Just a little bit. That's all we need. It's just the smallest piece of moon rock. Oh man. Anyways. Yes. The black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture? Pretty well, Mr. Wright, so let's see your proof. What evidence will finally prove the Phantom's identity? Isn't that the bomb that blew up the courtroom, and the moon rock along with it? Are you saying this will reveal the Phantom's identity? Yes, Your Honor. Focus your attention on this photo taken after the bombing, specifically right here. Right there, Biscuit. Please take a look at this newspaper article. This article about the Hat One? Now please note the strange black and yellow rock there on the left. No, rock there on the left. That's the moon rock. And when we look at this photo of the bomb fragments, see how there's a rock-like object with the same coloration? Oh my, yes, I see it! It would seem that the moon rock was much more durable than the Phantom thought. If we take a look at all the fragments that the police found, we'll likely find one with blood. And DNA testing on that blood will prove that the witness is indeed the Phantom. Unbelievable! But that's impossible. A surprise, to be sure. That's one bloody tough rock. Let us have the fragments tested straight away. Oh, and you'll be having a DNA test too, Fulbright. Bailiff, contact the police department immediately and order the testing. Prosecutor Blackwell, what do the test results show? There was a rock fragment that had blood on it that appeared to be several years old. DNA testing revealed... Well, I'm sure you know full well what it revealed. Well, they confirmed it was the witness's blood, didn't they? There's no use in trying to talk your way out of it anymore. Admit it! You're the Phantom! Who just objected? Huh? Mr. Wright, did you just raise an objection to yourself? No, I didn't say a word. That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? That was my objection, Apollo. Huh? Oh, please stop with the masks. Okay. Now you're my enemy. Why? I'm literally right here. It was a pretty good objection, too, don't you think? I hate this guy. I don't know if I hate or love this. Now he's me? I love the idea that literally all they did was take the model, the heads of the models and just put them on the body for Fulbright. So, did you have an objection or not, Mr. Wright? Huh? Oh, no, not really, Your Honor. No, not you, Mr. Wright. I mean the witness, Mr. Wright. Did this trial get any more insane? You did say that. I forgot about that. Also, Delphi, we already had Phoenix wrong. He was a tiger dude in the third game? Mr. Wright, this fragment of rock in the photograph and those just like it. How can you be sure they're pieces of the same moon rock that was at the robotics lab? Care to explain what you mean? Well, there may have been a rock or two in the courtroom that had my blood on it. But how do you know they're not just rocks? You can't prove they're the moon rock, right? Objection! Don't be absurd! Just compare the fragment with the rock in the newspaper article. Anybody can see they're the same. They have the exact same coloration. Okay, that's not good. Why not just say, hey, let's send this over to Gyaxa, wherever, and have them analyze it?
Objection!
Maybe some other rock with the same coloration happened to be in the courtroom. It's highly unlikely with a rock with such a unique appearance just happened to be there. But you can't deny it's a possibility. On the one hand, this makes it easier to do the voice because it's just the same fucking voice twice in a row.
Objection!
Objection! No, objection! But your blood was found on one of the fragments. Apollo, there's nothing suspicious about my blood being on a piece of rock. And why not? I know it sounds like an excuse, but several years ago, I tripped and fell in this very courtroom and was hurt pretty badly. Maybe that's how my blood found its way onto a piece of rubble. Even he must realize how ridiculous that sounds. And yet, I suppose it's not completely out of the question. I see you're starting to sweat, Mr. Wright. I know that the worst of times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. You're the last person I want to hear that from. Well, then why don't we get those fragments analyzed? We can ask an expert to verify if they were from the moon rock in the robotics lab or not. I'm sorry, but I'm afraid that just isn't going to be possible. And why not? In order to prove that the fragments are from what you say they're from, you need a sample of the moon rock from 7 years ago to compare it with. Guess what, bitch? We got one. We have one, don't we, Biscuit? We have one of those. We have a piece of moon rock. Hell yeah, the love of a mother to her daughter wins the day. That moon rock doesn't exist anymore, and there's no sample data left either. So you see, sort of going back in time, there's no way to prove that any of the fragments are from that moon rock. Oh, no! Wait, no. Oh, no! There's really no way to prove it? Are you finally ready to throw in the towel? Objection! Phoenix, do you have an idea? So the moon rock doesn't exist anymore, huh? That's right. It was such a valuable rock, too. A shame, really. But it's lost to us forever. He's wrong. It's not completely lost. There's another piece of it, right here by our side. A shining fragment of hope that can turn everything around. The final piece of evidence to put this phantom away for good. The defense has a piece of evidence that completely contradicts your claim. You have what now? A final Fragment of hope that was passed down with great love and care. We do? We do. Even if the person holding it hasn't realized it yet. Is this true, Mr. Wright? Pay no attention to him, Your Honor. He's just bluffing as usual. I wonder if you'll be able to force your biggest smile when you see what I've got. Try me. The piece of evidence that shows the original moon rock isn't completely lost is this! But just about the only things my mother left me with are widgets and this earring. Maybe she did love me in her own way. Athena, you may not know it, but your mother left with you a very important piece of evidence. She did? You're bluffing. You don't have anything of the kind. Oh, but we do. Evidence that will finally corner you, because we have a moon rock of our own. Yeah! Oh! Right, I'm sorry. I'm stupid. You mean... Exactly. A gift Dr. Sykes left her daughter. An item Athena has cherished and worn all these years. As distant as Dr. Sykes may have seemed to her daughter, that fragment of her love will shake off the darkness of the past and give us all hope for the future. This is the defensive sample of the moon rock. Take that! But your sample, this earring that Miss Sykes always wears, was made from that original moon rock. What? All this time, it was right here all along. No, it can't be. If the composition of the bond fragments in the earring are found to be a match, then it will prove beyond the shadow of a doubt the origin of the fragment in this photo. And since the test results show that the blood on the fragment was yours, this means that the identity you tried so hard to hide will finally be revealed. The identity I tried to hide? I don't have an identity to hide. I may not have Athena's ears, but now even I can hear the fear in your voice. Fear? I don't feel fear. I left all of my emotions behind years ago. Every human being feels fear. You simply can't face the emotions inside you. You can't face them because you have nothing. No love, no trust. And I suppose you do. I didn't have anybody to support me at first either. I couldn't face the fear inside me, couldn't get over the trauma of my past. Like I said, I don't feel fear. Objection! Objection! Then you're just a coward for running away from yourself. When I had my doubts about Miss Sykes, I felt like I would collapse under the weight. But I wanted to trust her. And I knew I could trust Mr. Wright to uncover the truth. That's why I was able to face my suspicions without hesitation. For running away from myself? How can I run from myself when there's nothing inside? Nothing at all. Objection! I know it's hard for someone as unwilling to trust others as you to understand, but people have emotions. It's just a fact of life. And so, people can be weak at times. But that's exactly why people need to trust one another. So they can gain the strength to face themselves when things are at their bleakest. Without trust in others, how can you ever hope to face your fears? Isn't that right, Biscuit? We gotta trust. You're about to slip through my lap. I got you, buddy. Nope. Stay right there. Nope. Off the desk. Off the desk. The fear inside. Okay. Well, now you're under the desk. That's fine. Is this? No. Ah! Oh my god! Horrifying! I'm afraid. I'm scared. I feel fear! You can't outrun yourself! Remove that mask and unleash your emotions! Confront your guilt head on! With your own true face! Are we starting an idol group here? Are we about to dance up on stage to music? To like some great music and... No?
Maybe not. I mean, we've already got color coordinated, so we're already halfway there. I kind of don't want to see his face. I think it'd be funnier. My own true face? No, please, don't. I know you're here. Where are you? See, I haven't revealed anything yet. Honest. My own true face. I don't have one. My own true. Tetanate? Probably also a fake. I forget your name. Is this my face? Is it? Is it? No, that's not it. No! Ah! This isn't me either. Is this me? Which one is my face? What am I? Who am I? We're the... anyone gonna react to... A sniper attack in this very courtroom. It chills me to my bones. But the police are doing everything they can to track down the sniper as we speak. Prosecutor Blackwell, how is Detective his imposter doing? He's a lucky fellow. A bullet didn't hit any vital organs. He appears to be in no danger of dying. Well, that was fortunate for all of us. The analysis of that final piece of evidence Donor submitted is in. The composition of Miss Sykes' earring and the fragment with the blood on it match. We can now be certain that is a fragment of the moon rock in question. The murders and bombings at the Space Center, both past and present, the bombing of courtroom number 4, and all of his other crimes, as numerous as the stars. Under suspicion of all these things, the spy known as the Phantom has been incarcerated. The prosecutor's office is now responsible for his well-being. There are still a myriad of things we wish him to tell us about, after all. Thank you, Prosecutor Blackwell. Well, it's time to finally bring this trial to an end. But before I do, will the defendant please return to her proper place? Yes, Your Honor. Now then, this court finds the defendant, Athena Sykes, not guilty. Wee, yahoo, wahoo, woo! Beep, yahoo, woo! Yo, wah, ha, woo! Court is adjourned. Ow. Still need to get that gavel. Biscuit, I know. Don't worry. I'll get you some food as soon as we're done here. December 20th, 9:12 p.m. District Court, Defendant Lobby, number 5. Congratulations, Mr. Nick. Thank you, Pearls. And thank you for being there for Athena. It's the least I could do. But Athena was great, wasn't she? She was so strong throughout the whole trial. Daddy, I'm so glad to see you. Jersey, are you alright? Are you hurt? Ow. Biscuit, no. Tongue is fine, teeth is not. Okay? No biting. No bite. Ah! No bite. No. Ow. Ow. Biscuit. Up. Get up, Biscuit. Come here. Okay. I'll be with you in just a few minutes, Biscuit. Don't worry. I'm fine, Daddy. I was doing magic tricks for the other hostages to keep our spirits up. That's our Trucy for you. I'm really glad to see you're safe. Do you still not know that your brother and sister... Is that ever going to be revealed? No? Okay. Right, I fear I owe you yet another debt of gratitude.
Edgeworth. We never would have caught him if it weren't for all of you. Oh, come on, Edgeworth. What are you talking about? You're the ones who have been tracking the Phantom all this time. Plus, you were the one who gave Blackwell permission to serve as prosecutor, right? Yes, well, we knew the Phantom was somewhere nearby. The police and I were trying to find him, but we never did manage to do so until this trial. Oh, we never would have run this trial without you. It was your help as chief prosecutor that was the key to this successful conclusion. Besides, it was you that saw to it I got my attorney's badge back, wasn't it? So you figured it out, did you? Yeah, getting my license back went just a little too smoothly, you know? It should have been much harder after that evidence forging scandal. Well, I owed you a few favors. Hey, Edgeworth, think we can finally bring the dark age of the law to an end? Even the darkest night turns to dawn eventually. Our sun will rise again. Besides, now that Prosecutor Blackwell has been cleared of all charges, a great deal of the mistrust towards the court systems should have been swept away. You know, you could have said that with a bigger smile, Edgeworth. It won't kill you. Instead, the furrows in that brows of yours just keep getting deeper and deeper. So I should smile more, huh? I'll think about it. Ah! The complicated love-hate relationship between lifelong rivals. Athena? Or is that Simon? Athena. Yup, I'm forever in your debt. You went to all that trouble, even taking the bar exam while you were overseas. Emphasis on the love, correct. Well, I knew that if I didn't get your sentence overturned fast, you'd be executed. So I studied and studied. I was frantic. I'm so glad I made it in time. Oh, just barely. But I still made it. Atta girl, Athena. It's good to see you finally let your tears out. Yes, I survived by the skin of my teeth, thanks to you. Shame on you, Simon, for trying to throw your life away like that. It was never my intention to just throw my life away. But some things in this world are more important than your own life. Like what? My honor-bound duty to protect with my life. My mentor's most beloved treasure. Huh? That's some loyalty. This guy really is a samurai through and through. These two are practically brother and sister. That being said, Apollo's right there. So if we, if we get Apollo, we throw in Gavin, and bring in Blackwell, maybe. I feel like adding Athena to the mix now makes it weird, just because of her relationship to Simon Blackwell. It looks like we can breathe easy now. Apollo, Athena, thank you both. It took all of us together to pull it off. You bet, boss. What a team we are, huh? It was definitely the most amazing turnabout I've ever seen. It was definitely the most amazing turnabout. There we go. That's his voice. I'm a lucky guy. My office is the best, most capable lawyers around. Thanks, Mr. Wright. I'm going to work extra hard to make up for all the worry I caused. Apollo Justice is fine and ready to go. Let's hear it for the Right Anything Agency. Well, nobody's going to try harder than me, so you better watch out, Apollo. Simon is free thanks to Mr. Wright. But there's so many more people out there who need our help. No. I'm good. I'm good, Delphi. Maybe not the True CX Blackwell. Trucy's still under 8. She's only 16. He's twice her age. No. We still have a long way to go. That's true. Okay, there is technically one more episode, but we're not going to do that today. Get ready, you two. We won a major victory, but the war is far from over. There's still one more episode, and then a whole other game called Spirit of Justice. There are still people out there suffering under false charges who need defending. We've got a lot of work ahead of us if we ever hope to fully bring the dark age of the law to a close. Hey, I know one thing we have to do. We have to celebrate with a bowl of piping hot noodles. Nothing like a bowl of Veltune's noodles after a trial, all on Mr. Wright's tab. That's how it works at the Right Anything Agency, right, Mr. Wright? Huh? Huh? As a boss, it's your duty to express gratitude to your people for their great work. In that case, allow me to join in the festivities. I would greatly welcome a bowl of noodles.
You're not going to be happy with it. It's all salt. Actually, in that case, you might love it. I'm not sure.
Huh?
I have an idea, Daddy. Why don't you just invite everybody involved with the case? The more the merrier, right? Oh, Mr. Nick, look how far you've come. How are you a year older than Trucy? I knew you'd grow up to be such a generous gentleman. Guys, under these circumstances, there's only one thing I can say. Because this is how every Phoenix Wright game has to end. There's only one way to end an Ace Attorney game. Okay? Look. There's only one word. There's one word, and you all know what it is. Get your fingers on the button. Get it ready. You know what I'm talking about. Get it ready. Get the button finger ready. Ready? Only if I get to join in. Hey, no fair. I want to say it too. Ready? Okay. Here we go. Objection! Dad! Yep, sure. Do you like being a So I decided to go around and get a bunch of jobs for him to do. Find a lost cat, install an air conditioner, give a computer lesson, find a lost item. Do you think I should have found him a few legal cases? No, that's okay. This is the Right Anything Agency after all. After we see all this epilogue stuff, we'll call it here. Payment Paulo was so wonderful in court. I better study as much as I can if I want to be a judge someday. My grandma says, eat lots of peppers and milk, not your passion. Oh, I should figure out which to grow, green peppers or yellow peppers. Maybe I should go with hot as the sun red peppers instead. Congratulations, everyone! We fucking did it! We found the Phantom. We found the big... At the end of the dark age of the law, you say? Tisk tisk, how naive! Don't you know it's sometimes necessary to get a guilty verdict by any means possible? What? They're putting me under investigation? The chief prosecutor wants to see me? What do you mean homework?
I've been tasked to be the great master wrestler Tin Mataro. He's scheduled to go up against
the amazing...
Oh, what to do? A fight to the finish with myself?
Why don't you ask Mr. Demon Lawyer to be Amazing Ninetales too?
That's not a bad idea. I bet he'd be all for it. So we ought to meet as foes. We are we, my little friend.
Would you believe it? I'm Alderman in Ninetales Vale now. Pretty impressive, eh? I took over after Rex QB for the good of my beloved village. What do you say? Would you like to make a little donation to help us out? Hey, you, what do you think you're doing? Hey, what do you think you're doing singing, the jig is up, better make a run for it. Okay, he's not actually Alderman, thank God. I thought I wanted to be an artist, but after seeing the amazing job Athena did, I started becoming genuinely interested in law, so now I'm studying for the bar exam. Oh, I'm gonna prosecute Athena someday. You'll see.
I'm studying my buns off too, but not for the bar exam. I'm going to pass the Themis Entrance exam of my own merit this time. With a score of 100 points, of course.
Juniper, our dream will live on forever! No, I remember enough. I found really sweet boxes for all three of them, but they won't wear them. It's because I want to be a legal journalist instead of a lawyer or a judge. But anyway, thanks to the trial, the school newspaper's future is as bright as it can be. Now, let's see what the fresh blood have to say in the new school paper. Our editor cried so hard at graduation rehearsal, her cardboard box got soggy. Uh-oh.
The one night only communion concert. I still remember that evening of passion. The president of the student council sang like no high school student I've ever heard. When she's a judge in her own course someday, I'd love to have a jam session with her. It'd be the coolest trial ever, yeah? I can already hear it now.
Thank you, Delphi. I gave this place a good cleaning from top to bottom, but it's already a mess again. I guess the only thing I can do now is clean up the attitudes of the people in this office. With Mystic Maya due to come here once her training is over, it simply must be done. Spirit of Justice foreshadowing. Spirit of Justice foreshadowing. Spirit of Justice!
Ha ha ha! Humanity's dream for outer space will never die! In fact, planning for the Hot Wheel rocket has already officially begun. Look upon me, people of this great nation, and witness the glory of Yuri Cosmos! What do you... Oh, Director. Yes, yes. Rocket preparations are fully complete. Yes. You will just leave everything to me. Assistant Director, Yuri Cosmos.
Then who's the new director? Please tell me it's Solomon. Please tell me it's Starbuck, and he's the new director. That'd be really funny. I'm going to the moon in the new rocket. If Athena or Mommy Metis came to the moon, I would love to show them around. But which is more interesting? Montes Perinars or the Mare You think they would like either one? Yay! Hooray! I wonder how Miss Aura is doing. I'd rather be near Miss Aura than on the moon. Oh, Miss Aura, I just want you to use me again, like you used to, because apparently I'm a masochist, but maybe you programmed me that way.
Ready for launch. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lift off! I'm going to the moon for real this time, for me and Clay. Thanks to my lawyers, I know now I should have, but I'm worried. You can't breathe in space, and in fact, it's cold as heck. Oh man, now I'm getting really nervous.
Who's the director? If you're not the director, then who's the director?
No, I am not employed here. I simply came to request their services in defense of my sister. But no one's around and I've been kept waiting for a long time. And what sort of case brings you here? Oh, your father was accused and you wish for Athena to defend him? Then perhaps he and I shall meet in a courtroom in the near future.
Father? What? Who? What?
I look forward to your next month's salary assessment.
Please forgive me!
Blackwater acquittal has brought all manner of ills in the prosecutor's office to light. It would seem solving that case has thawed the chill of winter into the warmth of spring. And now I owe Wrighteth another debt of gratitude, but I will repay him one day. You can trust in that.
And I believe that looks to be the end. Oh, wrong button. In the words of Minnie, just fucking bang already, goddammit. It's been a long fucking time, just do it. Anyways, that is where we're gonna call it there. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all enjoyed this. Next time we play, we're just gonna continue on to the DLC episode, which takes place technically between episodes 4 and 5, or something like that. Or before episode 4, I don't remember. Regardless, we're gonna do that next before moving into Spirit of Justice. But that's it for today. Thank you all so much for joining me. I hope you all have a wonderful night. Fucking you. I'm fucking blown my goddamn mind that it was goddamn Bobby Fulbright. Yeah, okay, will Wright call another parrot to the stand in the DLC again? 50-50. 50-50. Okay. We might stream on Saturday. It just depends on how long other things take. But regardless, we're going to stream on Sunday. I don't know what yet, because I don't know if I'm going to have Digimon ready. But we'll see. But if not, we'll figure it out. But you all have a great rest of your night. Get some food, get some water, all that good stuff. I love you. I'll see you later. I'm gonna go get some food. Bye, y'all. Rest in peace, Clay Terran.